We are so fucking back. We are so fucking back. Thank you. It is good to be back. Very sorry about that. I had no control over it. Okay, I'm gonna go back and reread that last paragraph. My bad. Despite the snow still falling, it did so in a less intense frequency. Still, the clouds smothered the sky, and I had to be careful trudging through the snow at the bottom of the nearest tree or bush before finding a broken branch, and I tried to light it up with one of Biff's matches, but the wood was too damp. I have to find something else. Jimmy has my flashlight, too. Damn it, why didn't I think of this plan sooner? I remembered something. I went to the trash can nearest to the boys' dorm, dumped as many sticks in there as possible before dropping a lit match inside, and set the contents in the middle on fire. Hi, Nut. What the hell? Oh. Hi, Nudge. Sorry, I don't see the contributions. So, good catch there. Creating a nice cozy beacon to give some light out to the area in case of an emergency. Nice idea, Kowalski. A breath over my ear. Ugh. Ugh. Hi, Nudge. How are you? I screamed and spun around, but saw nobody. I can't stop shaking. I can't breathe. Thank you for your cringe. So true. Yes. Did the author write more? No. There are 13 chapters. We didn't finish all 13 last stream. We just didn't finish. Yeah. So it's 13 out of 18 chapters proclaimed. So we're only on chapter 7 out of the 13 that have been written. Okay. The wind blew, but I was so sure that Gary just spoke into my ear just then. Boo, I can't believe it's actually fucking Gary. This is the worst. What's the point of being alive if it's fucking Gary? Get creative. Make it like Beatrice or something. Petey, someone cried, and I sharply glanced. I know. I'm just disappointed. Someone cried, and I sharply glanced at the boys' dorm to see Biff standing there, peering at me before running over. Come on, man, you've got to stay inside. Why did you set the bin on fire? My teeth chattered. I desperately wanted to say to guide Jimmy and the others back to this dorm, but his eyes softened and he sighed. I understand. You have a really small body, so of course you're going to get colder, just like Darby when he was way younger. For the teeth chattering. I could only nod in shock as he put his hand on my back, easing me into the direction of the boys' dorm, instantly surrounding me with people talking in low murmurs and conspiratorial arguments. But I slashed back to my room, and the whispers dissolved into laughter and cackles in the depths of my mind without Gary to punch anyone who made any. What? I need to try that one again. This has been one sentence. This entire thing is one sentence. Okay. Okay, we'll start here. But I slouched back to my room, and the whispers dissolved into laughter and cackles in the depths of my mind without Gary to punch anyone who made any slights against me so that I could be groomed to be his friend. What the fuck does that mean? Can I have a cringe for that dogshit sentence? What was that? I'm sick. My fists tensed. I can't do this. I can't just obediently stay here while my only true friend is out there in harm's way. Thank you for the crunch. For some twisted reason, I want to be with Jimmy even when something bad happens, but I'm sure that Biff is keeping an eye out for me, so I can't just leave through the front door. Instead, I went to the window, crusted with years of dried mold. With a U. British alert for cat. With a persistent push, I managed to open it, and the cold wind welcomed me. I looked at my door, seriously considering going back to see if Biff will help me. But he'll just tell me to stay and everybody else. I can't trust him. I trust Jimmy more than anyone I know. British alert. With my resolve, I took a deep breath, hoisted myself over the windowsill, and landed in the snow before making another mad dash towards the burning bin, taking a moment to let the warmth wash over me and temporarily relieve my freezing hands within my gloves. There's a body in the trash can. That's crazy. Actually, I have to fill my waters. Okay, that's okay. We'll keep an eye on the British alerts while you're gone, filling up your water. I froze, feeling my blood chill as I recognized the melting face of Parker. Oh, Parker didn't make it out. I guess he wasn't. Okay, Parker wasn't there either. But he is dead now. The preps are dropping like fucking flies, dude. As his flesh cooked with the intense flames, Aquaberry's sweater burning into charred fibers. R.E. I think that's British too. Too British. Along with his trousers, socks, and shoes. One of them fell off into the ground, just burning away, and I looked over to see Trent at the crossroads staring at me in pure shock before running away. Trent! Wait! I yelled and ran after him. I think it's him that's shouting out loud in panic because there's nobody else out here, and I'm certainly saving my voice to breathe and trying to run. Stay away from me, he shrieked. No, leave me alone. I can't believe Travis is alive, by the way. I didn't kill Parker, I shouted, but he ignored me and ran around the corner, and I knew it from the moment I went around the corner that I lost sight of him. I was too late. Looking to my right, the car park, British alert, that's 3, is a perfect winter wonderland of snow, except the night has been marred with horrifying deaths. But if I'm by the car park, then it means that I'm right by the garages in the auto shop. So I hurried through the exit of the auto shop area, and immediately got knocked down to the ground by someone with a wrench against my throat. A wrench is fucking stupid. But go off. Who goes there? Someone yelled, and their eyes widened, relieving the pressure on me, and I coughed. Petey, what the hell are you doing here? I peered at his face to remember his name before uttering, Hal? That's me. The large guy nodded and offered me his hand, and I reluctantly accepted it. What are you doing here? It ain't safe. No shit, Sherlock. Really bad. Can I have a cringe, please? That was fucking despicable. Wow, that was awful. I grumbled, but why are you out here? Oh, I'm just on patrol, he shrugs, even though Jimmy told me not to. Hey, let's bring you to him. Thank you for the cringe. Just filled up my waters and Chowder's trying to kill me. Yeah, we've already got 3. We've got 3 British alerts for you. You're gonna have to pee so bad later. So excited for you. I froze and shook my head. I was actually heading to the gym. I thought I saw a student run there. I'd have thought upon seeing a corpse burning in a bin, I would have screamed it out to him by now, yet I kept eerily quiet. But Hal wasn't having any of it, as he snorted, Psh, come on, I'm sure he'll be happy to see it. I can't argue with someone holding a wrench as an improvised weapon. Jimmy is not happy to see me. Been taking little sips. Boo. That's cowardice right there. As Hal led me into the auto shop, he immediately crossed his arms and Ricky groaned. Meanwhile, Johnny Gord, hi God! He is not safe. The prep percentage is at an all-time fucking high. I think it's like 95% of the preps that have gone so far. Okay. 80% of the preps. I think there's 10. I don't remember. I'm just making up numbers. But Gord is not safe. We'll say that. Constantinos, Zoe, Donald. Oh, I think that's one of the nerds. And Lola watched me enter with surprise in their faces. Well, Johnny said lowly. You made it all the way here on your own? Yep, I mumbled and approached Jimmy, but he held his hand up in dismay. Jimmy, I found Parker's body in the trash can outside the boys' dorm. Just before Gord, right? Yep, that's it. And honestly, neither one of them are safe. I honestly think Gord is probably gonna live. It's funny because at the beginning of the fanfiction, they were just like, your favorite characters will die. It's like, okay, what about your favorite characters? So I am almost fucking certain Gord will be fine. Not happy about it because I think you should commit to killing off the entire prep clique. If you're gonna do it hard. You know what I mean? But whatever. Startled looks stared at me and Gord gasped. Never, he muttered wide-eyed. Are you sure? Before he was burnt to a crisp. Yeah, I grumbled and he gagged. Burnt? My voice rose, but the only person not interested in listening to me is Jimmy, who just fiddled with a screwdriver while sitting on a counter. But Johnny walked over to me with a frown. How? He asked in a deep tone, and I inhaled, leaning back against the table for support. I actually went out to the trash can and burned the rubbish inside so that it can help guide people to the boys' dorm. Jimmy actually looked over at me as I said that. If Lola dies, I'm gonna... So true. She is not safe, I'm almost certain. But Biff dragged me inside again, but I snuck through the window and then I found Parker's body in there. Gord said nothing, only putting on his coat and running to the door when Hal blocked the way. Wait, you can't rush out there unprotected, he argued, and Gord unsuccessfully tried to push him out of the way, voice becoming high-pitched. My friend is dead, he cried out. Let me out, I must get to him and at least get something off him. What? Gord, wait. Zoe cut across and snatched his arm, and he glared at her, yanking his arm away. You heard that what Jimmy's been saying about people dying around us. If you just rushed out, you might end up dead, but Gord scoffed. See if I care. I'm a boxer. And so was Bryce, I burst, but he didn't turn to face me. And Chad, Darby, and Justin. They're dead too? I hear him speak softly. How? As neither Jimmy nor Ricky spoke up, I carried on, saying, Someone snuck into the wine cellar, broke the seals on all the wines, and put poison in them. Ivan and Gordon were forced to give your friends some drinks by Darby, so they couldn't have known that the wine you guys drink was meant to be sealed, as they never grew up rich. I see, he mumbled, finally turning around to face me. And Jimmy didn't think of telling me that my friends had been murdered the moment he got here, too. Gord, I was going to tell you, Jimmy intervened, but you were too busy arguing about the social class shit with Hal and Johnny to even listen. Oh, like you're an expert on listening, Gord snapped and crossed his arms. I've always been around to give you a good smooch, Hopkins, but when it comes to dating, you'd always rather be elsewhere. I get that sometimes with him too, Zoe added unhelpfully, and Jimmy groaned, Zoe, please. But I'm sure he has commitment issues because his mom's insecure about her own self-esteem and makes up for it by dating men way older than her. And they say that sons often date women who are just like their mothers, Jimmy murmured under his breath, and Lola giggled. Only, oh, this is just abominable. Like, Gordon, are you ready to hear information that so glad he got to hear it. Really awesome. Can I have a cringe for just this entire conversation? Thank you so much. Thank you. You're really on it. Really just, why? And Lola giggled. Only if you're like a bona fide Italian man in his 30s, she comments, and Zoe grins at that before high-fiving her. Oh no, Zoe is here too. She might die also. If Mandy goes, I go. Eunice hasn't even been here yet. Hopefully she gets here. Love her. Hey, Constantina spoke up and we all looked at him. So if we want to live, then like, let's just go now before something happens, alright? He's right, Johnny gruffed and zipped up his jacket. Let's get going already. How do you want to do this, Jimmy? I'm sure Jimmy was telling everyone about forming another human chain, but my mind just dazed off as I looked around the classroom, seeing that everything had been tidied up meticulously. All the tools are on the walls. The blackboard's been scrubbed clean, looking practically brand new, and the spare sawing tables folded and hung. The automotive lift is high up, carrying a car upon it connected to a battery humming. A headache pulsed in my head as I frowned. Eunice could take Hungarian win. So fucking true, dude. This wouldn't have even happened if Eunice were here. Eunice would have gotten down to business and solved the fucking problem. Love her. A headache pulsed in my head and I frowned. The other guys seemed to be confused too. Jimmy began to slur his words before realizing something is wrong. Oh my god. Dude, they're getting carbon monoxide. That's so I burst into a run to the classroom door, jiggling the handle but it was locked. Open the windows! I yelled, and without a word, everyone ran to the other classroom windows, but they were sealed shut. I look at the window closest to me that Jimmy tried to pry open, but it looked like someone had glued them down with clear silica gel. I can't breathe, Donald wheezed, down on his knees. Lola coughed. Oh my god. No, Lola. Stay alive for me, queen. Leaning against Johnny while Constantina's collapsed to the floor. Tools! Where? I gasped, grabbing Hal's arm, and he looked at me before glancing down at his wrench. He suddenly swung the wrench at one of the windows, instantly shattering it. Without warning, he picked me up with one arm and tossed me through, and I landed on the snow. Gasping in the cold air, I look up as Gord clambered out, followed by Lola, thank God, and Zoe, Donald. Constantinos wasn't conscious as he slumped to the ground, and I pulled him aside to make way for Hal, Ricky, and finally Jimmy. Coughing and spluttering, Johnny was the last to leave as he glared back at the building. What the fuck? He gasped, holding his head. What? Carbon monoxide, you dolts! Donald hissed, shivering all over. It's obvious, and you guys call yourselves mechanics. What idiot turned on a car engine in there? Nobody did, Hal yelled at him. We're not so stupid that we gas ourselves, and even if we were, carbon monoxide is odorless. You. Happy British cat. But Jimmy, Ricky, and I shared a knowing look. It's obvious that killer locked us in there to gas us, Ricky explained, and everyone looked at him. The windows were sealed down with gel so we couldn't open them, and the larger tools weren't in the classroom, I pointed out, and they gave me startled looks. Hal, do you guys usually store the tools elsewhere? Hal scratched his head as he said, no, they're usually on the wall. On the tool hooks we put up ourselves. I only noticed the small-sized tool in the scraps box. It was a goddamn trap, Johnny snarled while Lola held his arm, shaking all over. He put his hand over hers. Let's just get out of here. Form a chain, people. Fucking hate the chains. So annoying. Jimmy ordered and held his hand out to Zoe, which she takes. Then Gord, Constantinos, Ricky, Hal, Donald, Lola, Johnny, and then me in last place, like always. We're ready, Jimmy, Zoe announced, and we began our walk through the latest bout of heavy snowfall. None of us said anything. I'm sure Jimmy is furious that I turned up, but I got a horrible feeling that if I hadn't turned up, then they'd all be dead. Johnny's hand held mine tightly, keeping me warm. Wow, no wonder Lola likes him so much. I know. What the fuck is going on? I was I was thinking about that. It was like when did he know that we were going to the fucking auto shop? Because I don't even remember going like agreeing to go to the auto shop. Did he have this like prepared or like especially like this surely you see footsteps, you know what I mean? The snow doesn't cover that fast. I'm still pissed about that. We went through the second garage, the one before leading to the yard near the broken down school bus. Rattling. Johnny suddenly looked up. A lot of Johnnies starting each sentence in this section. Um, but anyway, Johnny suddenly looked up, yelled, and shoved Lola away from him as a shatter came crashing down, separating us from the rest of the group. Johnny, the other shutter! I burst and we ran back, but the other shutter slammed shut, dipping this garage into complete darkness. How the fuck did he get around to the other side so fast? I'm calling bullshit on that one. Johnny, Petey, Jimmy yelled from the other side of the metal as he banged on it. Hold on, I'll push it open. But the door clattered hopelessly, lifting only half a millimeter before it jammed. What the fuck is going on? Johnny shouted. Johnny! Hal's voice popped up. These shutters are brand new with electricated locks, activated only with those key fobs. Since fucking when? Wait, did we not break out of the building? We went into a different building. So it's like the base auto shop building, and then there are like garages in the auto shop area. I guess we went into one of those. I can't believe they bullshitted and said, yeah, they're electronically locked. Fuck you, author. You're disgusting. Johnny, Jimmy exclaimed, how many of those spare fobs does the school have? Only Neil and the prefects have them, he replied, for security purposes as well. Fuck! Jimmy yelled and kicked the shutter. You guys sit tight, I'll find a crowbar. Ricky, take these guys back to the dorm. And Zoe and Lola, you two run to the girls' dorm together. I don't understand why we are separating the genders. I do not understand. I don't fucking get it. But sure, whatever. Thank you for your cringe. No, I'm not leaving Johnny behind, Lola cried. Lola, babe, you have to run, the greaser demanded. I want you to be safe. While they argued through the metal, I shivered from the cold and tried peering through the darkness to see if there's anything useful in here, but it looked like the tools were put away somewhere safer. Just a table and a huge trash can with a lid on it. Lola, sweetie, please, I love you, doll, Johnny pleaded. I swear, later on, I'll treat you to a movie and take you out on a ride on my gal, okay? Really? On your precious motorbike? Oh, Johnny, of course I will. Just be safe, okay? I hear her simper, and I try not to vomit in my mouth, as opposed to vomiting elsewhere. Johnny, Jimmy spoke up through the gap at the bottom of the shutter. Give us 10 minutes, I swear, and Petey hang in there too. Yes, sir, I say simply. And thanks, he said suddenly. Thanks for saving us. I smiled, and then the footsteps hurried away as Johnny let out a heavy sigh, sitting on the ground. The garage wasn't deluged in snow on the inside, but at least we could sit on the concrete floor without worrying about getting our asses wet. Okay, no one split up, everyone to the except the girls, y'all have cooties. That's how it reads. Like, I don't understand why they're doing that. It's so weird. Come on, sit down. I won't bite, he joked, and I laughed nervously, hopping onto a table instead and letting my legs dangle. So, his face drops. How many? I exhale and relax. 16. Christ, Johnny breathes. My eyes have adjusted to the dark enough to see him press his face into his hands. Who? I'm fed up of it. I'm fed up of naming the dead and numbering them. I understand, the leader said after moments of silence I didn't realize passed. And you saw Lucky get stabbed too. I'm sorry about him, I mumbled. He is on a bed in the infirmary. Vance and Lefty were with him until he died. They have good hearts, Johnny muttered. Vance especially wears his on his sleeve. Another one of the author's favorite characters, who will probably live. But I can... Well, Vance is obviously more their favorite than Gord is, despite everything. but I can only think of the times I saw them tormenting kids and fighting the preps before being restrained by the prefects. Then I thought of the uneasy peace that ruled the school during Jimmy's kingly reign, where very little fighting went on with him around, and most fights took place in the hall with his supervision. He turned something menial like fighting and made it into a sport to be performed under controlled circumstances. He made it so that if someone does want to fight, they can declare it to others and then agree on a place to fight at. But it's not just the hole. We have even started having one-to-one fights in the middle of the football field because the prefects rarely go there on their patrols, with my specific order to them as head boy to not bother going there. Okay, make shit up, slay. But even when people started dying around me, I can't help but think of only the negative stuff they caused. I'd feel more sorry if Tad he it I'd feel more sorry if Tad if he hadn't essentially created an ambush for Jimmy at his own house. I'd pity Darby if he wasn't such an asshole. I'd mourn Troy if he didn't give me super hard wedgies in my first year at Bulworth. Okay, he is a bully. I forgive you. I thought he was a non-click student, but I forgive you now. But there are others I definitely feel bad for, like Angie, Sheldon, Beatrice. I do not feel it. Beatrice is kind of a dick too. Like, if we're being honest, no one is absolved. Everyone has that Bulworth in them. Petey, Johnny spoke up as he stood to his feet, as opposed to standing to somewhere else. I'm gonna try and pry this piece of shit open again. The boys are taking their sweet time. And I murmured a yeah when something flew over my mouth and a needle stabbed in my neck. Let's go! Let's fucking go! How did you get in here? Both of the doors are closed. How did you get in here? How did you get in here? How did you fucking get in here? How did you fucking get in here? I'm excited. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited that we might get to see the murderer. Gary. I'm excited that we get to interact with him. However, how did they get in here? Bullshit. Let's keep going. Let's get in there. Jimmy's POV. Oh fuck you. That's sick work. Anticipated, but sick work nonetheless. How did they know? I mean, because it's implied that they closed the doors. Like I'm maybe there's like cameras on campus. I don't know, man. Nothing makes any goddamn sense. I am obsessed. It's like crack. Let's fucking go. Okay. Will they be okay? Ricky suddenly bursts as we jog away from the boys' dorm after dropping off the survivors from the auto shop. I mean, they're trapped, and the killer will both have both fobs to easily get in and kill them. Catastrophizing much, Richard Pacino? That was fucking awful. May I have a cringe? I hope so, I grumble, keeping a good grip on the spare crowbar that is mysteriously kept in the boys' dorm cleaning cupboard. There's a cleaning cupboard in there? No one is doing any cleaning, but sure. We reached the car park, went around the brick wall until we made it to the garage door, and Ricky slapped the metal. Hey guys, get ready for rescuing! He called out. Without any prompting, I latched the end of the crowbar against the tiny gap at the bottom of the shutter, pulling a brick over. Oh my god, Johnny has fucking died. Let's go. Car park, another British moment for you, Cat. Happy cringe, thank you for the cringe. Pulling a brick over from nearby for leverage. Then, what the fuck would you need a brick for? Shut the fuck up, stand on it, dumb bitch. But then suddenly the door started clattering as it rose on its own. That's so bad. Okay. Johnny's lying on the ground in a puddle of blood, head next to a heavy-looking rock, and Petey stood there staring at us looking pale as he held something in his bloody hand. Oh my god, he's being fucking friend! Let's fucking go! That's so good. I love it here. It took Ricky a second before me to realize what had happened, and he let out an animalistic scream. He lurched at Petey and slammed him against the wall, and he dropped the fob. You bastard! A punch, and another, heavy ones that sent the brunette's head, head back against the hard wall. Ricky, stop! I yelled and grabbed his hand, but his other one out just as Petey ducked, and he punched the wall by accident, and we heard a crunching noise. Oh, okay, cool. You monster! Ricky yelled at Petey, and I forced myself to throw him to the ground and seize his wrists to hold behind his back. But pure rage ravaged his entire body, and I struggled to hold him down. Let me at him! He murdered Johnny! He had one of those fobs on him the whole fucking time! Ricky! I roared. Calm down! But my heart hammered as I glanced at Johnny's face. Eyes shut and blood and cuts all over his head and face. It can't have been Petey. Johnny would have fought him off easily. He'd have caught him by surprise, Ricky argued and suddenly pushed me off, standing between me and Petey as he pulled out something from his pocket. A pocket knife. I'll avenge you, Johnny! Petey's eyes shot wide. Ricky lunges, only for the other guy to suddenly snatch up and throw the trash can lid at his head like a frisbee, immediately knocking him out with a hollow thud, and he fell to the ground with a groan. In stunned silence, our eyes met. Jimmy, he choked, and I carefully walked over, stepping over Ricky's unconscious ass and held his hands. It calms girls down, but thank God it works on Petey too! That's so funny. He's like, you're gay. You're gay! I don't believe him, I whisper. Now calm down. What happened? I. His eyes glazed over as he tried to think, speaking as he went. I was just sitting on the table and we were talking when something. He touched his neck with a whimper. Ouch. Someone stuck a needle in me. I think it was a tranquilizer because I fell over and he gulped, trembling all over. I heard a noise, like bones breaking. I look at Johnny and at the rock, and then at Petey's hands, which have blood on them. To anyone, it's obvious how Johnny was killed. You're not strong enough to lift a rock that big, I reassure him. That's so funny. I can't believe his alibi is you're fucking weak. You're weak and gay. You couldn't have committed the murder, you're weak and also gay. So, no worries there. Then we looked down at the fob on the floor and I picked it up, pressing a button experimentally, and sure enough, the garage shutter to my left opened with sharp, creaking snaps, leading to the front half of the auto shop. Besides, the real killer could have dumped this on you and made it look like you had the means to separate yourself from the others. It's risky, but certainly paid off with Ricky. What should we do with him? Petey spluttered, gesturing to at the unconscious greaser. It's obvious that as soon as he opens his mouth, people will start siding with him and have me killed. They won't kill you, Petey, I say sternly, although doubt says otherwise. I'll protect you. They'll listen to me. Wait, how did the killer get out? I guess from what I'm understanding now, this is just a theory, but I'm pretty sure it's implied that every garage door has an individual, like, button fob thing to open and shut the garage door. And so it was implied that this building has two garage doors, like most of the buildings in the game in this area have two garage doors. So I assume the killer had the right hand garage fob. Which is so funny and really bad. But whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Oh, please, he scoffs. When Sheldon was found dead, they barely listened to you, and Johnny was the only one who stood up for you. He rubbed his sore cheek with a hiss, and I handed him a clean tissue from the packet I kept in anticipation of any colds. I'm sorry. Jimmy is not carrying fucking anything of the sort. At best, he's carrying like a dirty rag or something. He accepts it gratefully. I feel like a garage door. Yeah. But here we are. Ignoring logic, just in a general capacity. Wiping away at where cuts split his bruised skin. What if the killer knew how much Johnny respected me? I asked quietly, looking at the poor guy, and he knew about the power he held over the clique. If that was the case, Petey murmurs, then Norton is next in line. Oh, we're going through the cliques now. Okay, let's go. Hey, Jimmy, quite a few important people got killed as well as a few odd ones. What do you mean important? I snapped and he flinched. I mean social-wise, he corrected himself. At first it seems random, but Russell led the bullies and he got killed as well as Troy. Troy's no genius, but he still held respect. Tad had aspirations to lead the preps once Biff graduates, and Darby is the head of the preps, but he is dead too. Maybe the killer thought that only Darby could drink certain wines and nobody else, but accidentally took out the other guys. Come off it, I groan and rub my forehead. It's still random to me. All I know is that the killer already took these huge risks tonight, killing someone in front of other people. But it's just now that he tranquilized me, he argued. I look at Ricky, still unconscious from the awesome hit Petey gave him. He's sure to wake up soon. Petey, I murmur and hold his shoulder. I promise I'll protect you no matter what, but I gotta stay free enough to investigate all this shit that's going on. So now what? He muttered, hugging himself. I just go to my dorm room and hope that nobody comes in? Pray and write my last will and testament? No, I say firmly. I'll take you to the one other place on campus that I camp out at regularly if I sneak back to school late. Where's that? He uttered gloomily. I had many crazy ideas in life, but this has to be the craziest of them all. The trek took us probably 10 minutes longer than normal, but we made it to the football field where the snow drifts build up to our chests. We had to plow through the snow in order to reach the sports clubhouse, where I opened it and we fell inside, gasping and panting for our breaths. Petey's bruised face still looked red from the combination of being pummeled as well as the deep snow giving him a welcome cooling relief from the pain. I thought they were gonna say girls' dorm. We have left Ricky to die. Um, he is still in the garage. Wah wah. Ricky is dead for sure. Also, walking through that much snow, it's going to be so fucking obvious where you guys are at, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not upset. You're upset. As well as the deep snow giving him welcome cooling relief from the burning pain. I shut the door with my foot, not even bothering to stand up until he did so to flop onto the mattress, my makeshift bed for whenever I needed a nap to get away from the prefects after curfew. All right, I pant. You should be safe here. Meanwhile, I'll run to the observatory and see if anyone's hiding there. Are you sure? Petey groans, not sitting up, looking absolutely train wrecked from the trek. Actually, absolutely wrecked from the trek. Sorry, I added train for no fucking reason. I love hallucinating words. Because it ain't exactly safe being on your own either. But don't worry, the snow. So true, Cat. I forgot it snows a foot a second. For some fucking reason. Love that so much. I'm Jimmy Hopkins. If trouble comes to find me, I'll give it trouble, I joke, but he sighed. Can't we both just stay here till morning comes? Do you even know what time it is? I don't, I mumble, regretting not wearing one of my watches. And we can't just stay here. Ricky's bound to tell everyone what had happened to Johnny, and they'll start a lynch mob quicker than Lola getting over Johnny. Oh shit, I groaned while Petey snorted. That was wildly inappropriate. She'll definitely be the first to call for my blood. I know, I said, but like I said, if I kind of a cringe for too many I saids in one sentence. Like, how did you even do that? If I go out now and see who's in the observatory, then we can possibly gather up a team who will be on our side in case shit goes down. Hopefully we get someone cool. Probably not. Thank you for your cringe. Aw man, Petey whined, sitting up. And how many people are at the dorm right now? Almost everyone. If you do find someone alive, that'd be a miracle. Regardless, I'll still look. I shrug and dust myself off before handing two objects from my pocket to him. Here, take these. What? Petey eyed the pocket knife I nicked off Ricky as well as the small jute bag. Jute? Oh. It's like a material. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Google. You'll learn something new every day. Full of green marbles with tiny scratches and cracks on them. Why are you giving me these? To protect yourself. The marbles is crazy, by the way. I say simply, the marbles can be a good alternative ammunition for your slingshot. Okay, fair enough. And the pocket knife doesn't need any explanation. I can't take these, Petey blurted, standing up quickly and trying to push them back into my arms. You're the one going out there. You'll need them more than me. Just shut up and keep them, I snapped, and he stepped back. I mean it. I'm prioritizing your safety for now, but you've got to trust me on this. I'll be right back after checking out the observatory, okay? His mouth opened but closed it again as he sighed. I should already know by now that you're stubborn as hell. I learned from the best. I lied. Okay, and patted his shoulder, but he smirked anyway before I walked out the front door and into the wintry wonderland hell. Oh my god. Wintry wonderland hell. I don't like wintry spelled that way. Um, I'm sure that's how it's spelled, I just don't like it. Um, I also hate wintry wonderland hell, so can I have a cringe, please? Marbles rope and a pocket knife. He'll be so safe. So fucking safe, dude. He will be so safe. Anyway, Gary's point of view, obviously. Foolish, messy morons. I have eyes everywhere. Thank you for cringe. I have eyes everywhere. I know you two are making camp at the sports clubhouse. Everyone else has to be pretty thick not to know all your hideouts by now, but I know them off by heart because I see you frequent them so much like you own the place. Jimmy boy, while you discover the surprise in the observatory, I'll go off and initiate my plan with my new best friend. The dawn is not for another few hours, but when it rises, the world will see this school bathed in blood, and I will finally be the one to stand on top. I hate that it's Gary. I fucking hate that so goddamn much. Like, we don't even need to speculate at this point. It's Gary. Like, it's the truth. But apparently he has a friend, so happy for him. Okay, Jimmy's POV again. I did not want to leave Petey alone, but I don't want to take any more risks tonight. Wary, I made my way across the long football field, glancing at the steps to my left, hoping that Ricky wouldn't come after me with the crowbar I forgot to pick up. And I must have gotten so cold that I started to feel warm, but from experience, that's usually a bad sign. As well as this crazed killer going around, there's also hypothermia to look out for. For some reason, these huge snowdrifts reminded me of an ex-stepfather I once had. Mom met him at a yoga club, fell in love, bleh. And they dated without telling him about my existence because most of the guys mom dated would rather live child-free lives. But luckily for her, he's always wanted a son, and lo and behold, I was ideal. Derek was the only stepfather I actually liked enough to tolerate and taught me a lot about the Marines since he said he did a brief stint in the Middle East. Oh my god, Middle East mentioned, that's like the third one. What the fuck? Before a leg injury caused him to retire with juicy benefits. The winning attraction point my mom saw. He taught me how to swim, how to box, and tie all sorts of knots. He'd still be a great stepfather if his best knot wasn't the one wrapped around his neck! What the fuck, dude? And to think you had a hidden gambling habit and lied about your life story? That's so funny. I love random like fake Jimmy lore. That's so good. I muttered, my pace speeding up. Only because I wanted a real life, I imagined him saying, effortlessly cutting through the snow. But to live and eat, you gotta have money, and if you live your life in a way that impresses people, then you'll feel that it's worth living for. Having all four will make you feel at peace. So fuck off and stop hunting me, Derek, I snarl, cursing when the torchlight British moment to fade a little. You left Mom and me. I did love you both. I thought of him replying with that, and even though it's purely my imagination, it stung. Let's face it, and don't tell your mom I said this. She isn't exactly a supermodel with the makeup that she might as well have stolen from Edna's bathroom. I tried not to snort. It's so damn true. Can I have a cringe, please? This is getting ridiculous. I can take it, but only so long. Maybe they were long-lost sisters, I suggested, and Derek chortled, voice deep and gruff from years of smoking bootleg cigarettes before slowing down as I approached the gates leading up to the observatory. Thank you for your cringe. Resting my gloved hands on the metal, I lifted the latch and set off a series of bars that in turn pushed others, allowing me to push the gates apart. The front door ahead of me was shut, but I took a deep breath. Derek's silent footsteps paused beside me, and I looked up, seeing his gaze resting on the imposing building. My memory of him faded because I was only 7 when he committed suicide, but he was definitely a bulky guy who can fight for himself in a bar fight. Maybe elsewhere, too. I don't know why you had to be so specific with bar fight, but sure. Remember when that burglar broke in and you raised hell by yelling and hitting him in the face with the baseball bat I gave you? The one that Mom sold after he died to get money for taxi fare. Yes. You're a brave kid, Jimmy, Derek said lowly, tone eroded to softness by the blizzard. You always were, and even now. You never showed vulnerability at all, but even though you need to let your guard down every once in a while to recharge, you have to keep up this fight. For how long? I asked. What the fuck is going on, by the way? Like, I could get past, like, a brief Derek moment, but this is a bit much. Whatever, I guess. I asked as snow built up against my legs. Not that fast, though. Until you save your friend, Derek says simply, and his gray eyes finally meet mine. For a blinding moment, he sounded so real I could have convinced myself he's still alive. He put his hand on my head and I shut my eyes, just trying so hard to remember those times when a genuine father figure touched me like that without ending things in violence. Friends are hard to come by, and I mean real ones. They're worth fighting for, Jimmy. Petey's a decent guy. You're like, how like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we doing a ghost thing? He is. So, Keep fighting for him, Jimmy. Hold on to each other and keep fighting together until the sun rises. I love you, my son. Can I have a can I have a cringe, please? That's fucking despicable. Okay, I have to run an ad really quick. So I'm gonna do that. Everybody sit tight during the ad. Thank you for the cringe as well, but sit tight for that ad. Okay, I'm back now. Let's jump right the fuck back in. Um, oh yeah, the I love you son. I fucking forgot this. Thank you. It's good to be back. This fan fiction is so easy to immediately fucking forget what I just read, and then locking back in is the probably the most jarring feeling of all time. I don't know if everybody gets it after an ad break, but I really, really, really do. Anyway, I had to will him away out of my mind, otherwise I'll cry. There's plenty of times to do that later. I kicked the snow off myself. Off myself. shaking my memories back to the depths of my mind, and ran up to the observatory doors. They're unlocked. I inhaled, holding onto the handles before pushing them inward and watching them fling open, revealing a huge puddle of blood in the middle of the spacious room. Oh shit, where did that come from? Dripping. With dread, I look up, and instead of papier-mâché planets, limbs, and organs hung from strings with blood gradually draining from them. Shit. I growled, and my gaze turned to the center where Melvin's head hung upside down, eyes staring out and his glasses broken. So Melvin's dead now, too. Hopkins! I spun quickly, seeing Ricky seething and glaring at me while holding a crowbar. Shit. Think you'd outrun me, huh? He snarled, taking a step closer until he looked at the ceiling, mouth dropping. Ricky, I spoke, but he snapped out of shock, shaking all over. Forget it, Hopkins, he yelled. I won't let you get out of here alive. I know the truth, and I know what I gotta do. I didn't kill Melvin, I burst. Who fucking cares? He spit. Protecting scum like Petey makes you a murderer too. This is for Johnny! He charged toward me, holding the crowbar high, crooked end first. I duck, sprint, tackle charging him in the stomach, and he wheezed as he bounced back, and the crowbar clattered against the floor. I've always been a fast runner. But greasers like Ricky are tough, and one headbutt to the abdomen is hardly going to leave a dent. He quickly recovered, scrabbling to regain balance, but I already dove for the crowbar and we're both fighting over it. He really means to kill me. I can't let him do that. Petey will be on his own. I have to protect him. I mean it! I shouted, trying to yank the bar away, but his absolute fury welded his hands to the metal. I didn't kill anyone! But he didn't listen. He quickly kicked me in the gut and I wheezed, letting go. Fatal mistake. And he raised the bar high in the air, above his head. No! Someone cried out and wrapped their arms around Ricky's waist, surprising him into stopping. Petey! Boss battle the thing, let's go. So true. Ricky boss battle. Which is really stupid. So what nonsense has happened this week? Well, I've almost immediately forgotten literally everything. Okay, never mind. I've remembered. We went to the auto shop. Oh, Parker died in a trash can. He was set on fire, kind of, sort of. Like, Petey set the fire. And then I guess the murderer Gary dumped his body into the fire. Parker has died. Parker left. No, I'm sorry. Petey left. Too many P's. Petey left to go with the boys, which was Ricky, Jimmy, to go to the auto shop to meet up with whoever's in there. They almost got carbon monoxided, but they escaped. Gord, Zoe, Lola, Johnny, Donald. We'll call that good. We're all there. Johnny and Petey end up getting Ricky, thank you. Johnny and Petey end up getting separated from the grander group and get stuck in a garage, and so the rest of the group splits off and goes to drop the survivors off at the boys' dorm. And then the girls' survivors at the girls' dorm. It's fucking stupid, but whatever. So Lola and Zoe both get to live. Happy for them. None of the other women have been able to live thus far, so glad they made it out. So they got to go to the boys' dorm. Then Ricky and Jimmy come back to save Petey and Johnny. The garage doors are electronic for some reason, so they're activated by key fobs, and so we needed to get a crowbar, I guess, to open them instead of just lifting them like we do in the game. So we needed a crowbar, and so we go to get the crowbar. Johnny is dead, and it's revealed that Petey is holding a key fob in his hand, and his hands are like covered in blood, obviously, but in the chapter prior he had been tranquilized, so we the audience know that it wasn't Petey, but Ricky doesn't know that, so Ricky is trying to kill us. That is where we are now. Happy to update you, Trilla. Also, how are you? Hope you're well. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. Happy Fanfiction Friday, but on Saturday. And Honeybee Awareness Day. Pretty sure it's Honeybee Awareness Day. I forget. Anyway, stop, please, he begged, not letting go. He didn't kill anyone. He wouldn't. I know it. Let go, Ricky yelled, trying to push him, but he clung on like a limpet. What the fuck is that? I wish I hadn't have asked. Because you know I'm going to tell you in in-depth detail. Never ask me a question ever. But But anyway, possibly British moment, not sure. I quickly lurched, but he swung his arm and I blocked the crowbar with my arm before my other fist flew out in a hard jab, right at his face, and he roared. With new inhuman strength, he swung the crowbar wide and shoved Petey off him to the floor. But the swing of the crowbar didn't stop. It swerved like a curveball and struck down Petey's face in a blur. Blood seeped down his cheek. I stared as he removed his hand from his stunned expression, showing a cut stretching over his eye and forehead, and my heart stopped. Even Ricky stopped. My blood boiled, and I stormed over, seizing his shirt collar and slamming him down to the floor, pummeling his face with my fist. He let out a strangled cry, but I didn't stop until he stopped moving. Did Jimmy just kill some guy? Limpid is like a snail. Really odd choice of words. Okay, I've never heard of that before. Sounds kind of British though. Um, that is a weird choice of words. Can't say I'm fucking surprised. But thank you for checking. I appreciate that, everybody. I'd hate for Cat to drink more water than necessary. No. He let out a strangled cry, but I didn't stop until he stopped moving, and a pair of weak hands pathetically gripped mine, stopping me. Stop, Petey hissed. Fingers tense, and I let go of Ricky's collar, relaxing my whole body, and I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I fucking hate that so much. It's a sea creature. I love sea creatures. Petey, I whisper, standing up. Your eye. His lips quivered, but he gulped instead, closing his good eye with his hand while waving the other in front of his bad eye. But his pupil followed his hand a bit jerkily. I can still see, but it is blurry. I just slumped over him, hugging him. I'm sorry, I muttered. Ricky just turned nuts, and I should have stopped him. He said nothing, but carefully pushed me away. The blood running down his pale, bruised face began to distract me. I can't just leave him at the dorm, not when we still have Trent running around, and Ricky still being alive, and Ricky is still alive. Thank you for locking that in. And convinced that Petey murdered Johnny. His eyes finally glanced up to the ceiling, with Melvin's guts and body parts decorating the solar system, and he gagged, stepping back with his hands flying into his mouth. So Melvin is gone now too, I bluntly stated, and he nodded. But he was missing with Thad from the library, he gulped, glancing around. Where could he be? I can't believe I forgot about him. But more importantly, that'll only make him that'll only make me suspect him as the murderer if it wasn't for the fact that he's a scrawny kid. Let's go back to the sports hut, I grumbled, holding his shoulder, and he muttered in Jimmy fucking loves to hold Petey's shoulder for some reason. It is his favorite fucking activity. He's done it like 3 times in this chapter alone. Anyway, he muttered in agreement as we left the room, only for him to quickly go up to Ricky's unconscious body and pick up the crowbar. Good thinking, Petey. Wouldn't want him to use that on us again. He gave me a weak smile, only it was painfully lopsided because of the nasty cut that seemed to have dug into his cheek. Oh boy, I better do something. Petey, I inhale, stepping close and wrapping my arm around his shoulders. This is so fucking funny. He shrunk automatically with a complaint, but also rested my hand on top of his head. You gotta stay warm. You're losing blood. I think there's a first aid kit in the sports hut. He began to complain again, but I tuned it out as I led us through the blizzard. I could swear that Derek is still walking behind us, watching over me. I fucking hate that so much. But I know that he isn't. His body will still be swinging in the forest that he used to take me to camp at, where I went to look for him, and found his body. And never told anyone, because when I got back home after that, Mom had already had everything in her car to take us away, already aware of his massive gambling debt and ties to the loan sharks. LMAO. Derek was someone who lied about his entire life without batting an eye, yet he was the best stepfather I ever had, but I abandoned him. I should have told Mom to tell the police so he'd at least have a funeral, but instead I refused to sleep unless my body forced me to, and no amount of listening to death metal music will keep my eyes from shutting and flitting my guilt behind them. What the fuck? No one cares. No one cares, Jimmy. We are in the middle of a crisis. I do not care about your backstory. I just gotta keep it real up front. Thank you for your cringe. That one was pretty bad. Okay. I don't understand why Jimmy's gone so quiet all of a sudden. He just led me back to the sports outhouse. Not what that's called, but sure, go off, say whatever the fuck you want. Back to the sports outhouse, forced me to sit on the bed while he rummaged through the boxes in the caged corner and pulled out a huge green box full of what could have been an entire medical agent's equipment. Medical agent. What the fuck are you saying? He pulled out a needle and a thread, and I let out a cry, standing up. No, 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 man, that's a bad idea. Petey, you're still bleeding, he snapped, getting closer to me. Sit down and just let me help you. I hate needles, I whimpered, and he immediately took my hand, practically throwing me onto the bed. I tried to scrabble over it away, but he suddenly stabbed my stomach, winding me, and pinned my wrist above my head. I sharply looked at him, and he froze. Sorry, he grumbled, but didn't budge. Petey, I need to do this. It's either this or you'll go blind. Not how that works. He would go blind with or without the stitches. You cannot stitch an eyeball. Have a good day. I guess I'm more scared of losing sight than needles. You can close your eyes now. Stupid, I know, but I'll want you to bite down on something and hold the sheets too. Seeing the sharp needle with the thread already looped through it, I inhaled, trying to relax as my hands balled into the sheet tightly. Jimmy held his something else in his hand, holding it to my mouth, and I hesitantly took the clean rag between my teeth. This is quite possibly one of the worst scenes ever of all time. I think I have to kill myself. Okay, I'm going to do it now. Hold tight, PD. I shut my eyes and immediately felt the prick of the needle. I whimpered, screaming pain shooting past nerves with the rough thread as it pulled laboriously through my skin. My legs jerked, but Jimmy's weight held them down. My whole body tensed like lightning struck a rock. Sure. Like lightning struck a rock. My favorite phrase that everybody knows and understands. Thank you for your cringe. Doing good, he breathed, and I couldn't open my eyes. I can't. If I look, I'll only go hysterical. My shouts are muffled thanks to the gag, but my teeth are starting to hurt. Another sharp stab in my cheek, and the thread pulled, my spit almost soaking the rag already. Ricky, I'm gonna fucking make you pay for this. I bit into the cloth, another scream wrenching my throat, tense arms almost breaking in half. My fingernails might as well be ripped off. It carried on like this for God knows how long, with Jimmy trying to stitch my cut, but it got worse pain-wise the closer he got to my eye, and I began to cry. My tears touched the fresh wound, and my yell became a garbled mix of hysteria and wails. Two weirdly different words to choose, but yeah, write what you want, man. That's what life is all about. Jimmy's saying something, but I can't hear. I can feel more blood leaving me until a headache pounded my forehead. I let go of the sheets, trying to push him off, but weakly. I've become as weak as a bird. Notoriously. I can't even muster a cry after spitting the spit-soaked rag out of— you can't say that— out of my mouth. Fuck you. Petey, Jimmy hissed, getting off my stomach, and I could feel him holding my face. Look at me, man. I opened my eyes at last, blurry with tears and a hoarse throat. He's never looked so different before. He's the same as before, but something about him made me want to run and hide. Say something, he demanded, and I gulped, nodding. Thank you for your cringe. Hurts, I whimper. Good, he spat, because it means you're alive. Now get up. I need to disinfect that, otherwise you'll go green and lose your eye for real. I didn't get up. I just laid there, panting while looking at the ceiling, and he entered my vision again with a rag and a bottle of disinfectant. He didn't say anything or tell me to get up, but he just pressed the cloth against my cut instead, and the sharp pain made me shoot up with a gasp. A burning sensation ripped through my flesh, and I squeezed my eyes shut. Sorry, he muttered, leaning in again and with the cloth, and I flinched, backing up, but his face twisted and held arm tightly, forcing the material on my cut again, and I cried out, stiffening all over. Jimmy backed up, grumbling to himself before throwing the cloth aside. Thank God that's over, he muttered to himself, scratching his head. Petey, I'm going to take you to the girls' dorm. 'Cause you're gay! It's 'cause you're fucking gay. So you go to the girls' dorm, 'cause you're fucking gay. Also, I'm glad we get to go to the girls' dorm. That means none of the women are safe, which is unfortunate, but whatever. I should not be shivering so much, despite having Jimmy's arm around me, but the blizzard isn't letting up anytime soon. Yet even though our visual range is limited, especially mine now, Jimmy navigated our way all the way to the other side of the school perfectly without bumping into any walls or murderers. We made it to the front yard of the girls' dorm and I froze, but he impatiently dragged me towards the side door. I gave him a puzzled look, but his features were set in stone as we passed the steps and to the back of the building, where he rapped his knuckles on a window and someone's face peeped through the frosted glass. Zoe. With a gasp, she opened the window. With a loud squeak, and my nerves flinched, but she almost cried when she saw my cut. Holy crap! Jimmy shushed her. Zoe, Ricky's convinced that he murdered the other guys, he said quickly, and her eyebrows knitted together. This scrap of a guy? Ricky's lost it because Johnny is— He stopped, shivering. For fuck's sake, can't you let us in through your window? Who else is in your room? Nobody. Why? She held her hand out, pulling me inside, and the warmth of the girls' dorm enveloped me, almost lulling me into sleep. Jimmy grunted behind me as he dusted the snow off himself, and the girl closed the window. Zoe, can you do me a massive favor? With a U, British alert. He begged and she stared at him, taken aback. Well, duh, of course. But what do you need help with? More students have been killed, Jimmy began quietly, glancing at the bedroom door worriedly. And because Petey was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Ricky is convinced that he murdered Johnny. Holy shit. Yeah. And once he wakes up, he'll come back to the dorm to get a lynch mob organized. And we both know that Petey won't be able to save himself. And let me guess, she began, holding her hand up. You want me to hide him from everyone else. Especially Lola, he said warningly, and I shivered. I can't risk a single person other than you seeing him inside this building. Can't you hide him in the attic? I'll try, but the attic window's been sealed and locked shut. Plus, the other girls are in the common area, so. Jimmy immediately smirked knowingly. I'll go knock at the front door and distract them while you spirit Petey upstairs. They high-fived, but I still shivered as Jimmy went to the window when my hand suddenly shot out and gripped his coat. He looked at me, and I can't even tell what he's thinking except I leaned forward and awkwardly patted his shoulder. My heart's pounding like crazy, but my extremities are still cold. You're fucking what, brother? No one talks like that. Please go to jail. I'll see you later, Petey. Stay hidden, he said lowly before vanishing out the window and closing it, disappearing from sight. He's gone. What if this is the last time I'll ever see him? Zoe whistled, patting my back. You almost got guts, Petey. Now let's get you to safety so that you can tell me everything, okay? Thank you for your cringe. The front door knocked and Zoe ran into it while the other girls squeal in panic for her to leave it, only for her to announce dramatically that it's Jimmy. That was enough for them to spam Pete together. Hope we get some Eunice action! Probably not, but I can dream. Gulping, I quickly jogged past as quietly as I could on the carpeted floor while watching the gaggle of girls asking Jimmy questions 19 to the dozen until I went out of sight, whatever, and hurried up the stairs. Thank God there's not many girls at Bulworth, so there aren't any lingering upstairs, but I soon found the door at the end of the. So they didn't even make up any girls to pretend that there are more girls to even the like score out a little bit. So they're just willy-nilly running around killing a disproportionate amount of girls in comparison to the boys. A damn shame. Anyway, but I soon found the door at the end of the corridor leading to the attic, and after ascending the dusty stairs, I lowered the trap door, dipping myself into utter and complete darkness. I didn't bother feeling around for anything soft to lie on, just the old dusty floorboards, but at least now I can rest here and ignore the throbbing pain in my face while wondering how Jimmy is going to stop the killer before more of us get murdered. Seconds later, the trap door squeaked, pouring light from a torch into the space, and I froze, but the red hair reassured me. Zoe, I whispered, and she nodded, staying where she was. Hold tight, I'll find you some pillows. She's really pretty in a thuggish way. I can see why Jimmy is fond of her, even trusting her to look after a refugee like me. A minute later, the trap door opened as she lobbed 2 pillows at me, lightly scented with perfume that calmed me down and very, very soft to hug. There we go, she utters, before sitting on the edge of the open hole. Now you can tell me what the heck. Now can you tell me what the heck is going on? I hate feeling left out. Thank you for your cringe. So, so while lying down on the pillow, I inhaled before telling her everything of what had happened so far, even the parts that she already knew about. That she knew about already, but more to help me remember than anything. When I finished, she let out a sigh, holding her face. Fuck, I didn't expect Johnny, of all people, to be killed, she utters. And Melody's been wondering where Beatrice went as well. I'm gonna find it hard to keep mum about this. What? You're gonna find it hard to keep what? Okay. Even if you do tell, I gulp. Don't tell them I'm up here. Please. I promise, numbnuts, she waved me off. But is only well, only as long as you keep quiet, because I don't want to hurt Jimmy by breaking his secret. I thought of how I almost went in to kiss him, and my ears flushed. You're more ballsy than I thought, she grins, as if reading my mind. Even I would have played it cool. I whined and I buried my face in the pillows. I feel bad for having them dirtied on the floor. I better go see the others before they get suspicious, she says, standing up. I'll try to find you some snacks later. Can you hold out for a bit? I'll try, but I'll need the bathroom soon. Damn, Then I'll find you a bucket from the cleaning cupboard. We both grinned before laughing as quietly as we could. I shouldn't be laughing. People have died in this school tonight. Yes, Petey. We know. But just for now, I'll allow myself to be human and feel grateful that Zoe is on my side. I must have drifted off because I woke up to the trap door creaking. I relaxed. Zoe will be here with snacks. I'm starting to starve. But the ghost, a shrill voice perked, followed by my heart hammering against my ribs as I shut up. What if he sees us? It won't. Fuck, that sounds like Melody and Gloria. No, Eunice? What's the fucking point, dude? I quickly stand up, rushing behind one of the pillars, but the pillows are still on the floor. But I saw flashlights beaming around and I knew it was too late. They'd already seen them. Huh, was someone napping up here? Melody wondered, and the light grew brighter as they drew closer, and I took a careful step out of their sight. No clue, Gloria sighs, but I hope you feel better now because there's no ghost up here or murderers. That window's already been sealed recently and nailed down. Not even a firecracker can break it without alerting someone to the damage. Oh, they're wondering about security. But the other girl's voice lowered. I just got a gut feeling. I know it'll be weird, but I want to be sure. All the windows are sealed in this building, Gloria groans. Nobody can get in or out unless it's through the front door. And I already got spooked by Jimmy visiting, Melody sighed. I still want to check, then we'll leave. Fine. I listened to their footsteps, slow methodical ones that lightly creaked the floorboards. Gasped. I froze and my heart pummeled away, but they sounded distant. They probably saw a rat. It's open! My heart fell. How? It was locked! We have to tell someone. The murderer could be in the dorm right now. Don't be hasty, Mel. Nobody but Zoe came up here earlier to do the rounds. Maybe she felt sick and wanted some fresh air. But Gloria, even I know that when the snow is piled this high, it means that this window's been open for a long time. How fucking high are we talking? The attic window is like what are you saying to me? Whatever. Even longer than when Zoe last came up here. But she didn't notice that it was open? There's a blizzard after all. It could have built up in minutes. Oh. Okay, the okay, whatever. Let's not think about that too hard. My breath weakened while my chest tightened painfully. Oh no. Petey, don't have an anxiety attack. Don't have an anxiety attack. Don't have an anxiety attack. My lips stung. They must be turning blue from me trying so hard not to breathe loudly. Then a loud, piercing scream ripped through the air from elsewhere in this building and the girls gasped. It's the murderer! They shrieked and burst into a run together, almost tumbling down the trap door and not bothering to close it. I waited a minute before heading towards it, but I stopped myself as I threw a glance at the open window. How long was I asleep for? How come I didn't wake up sooner to the cold? I could have caught hypothermia. Who the fuck walking around is the shoes on the ton of snow? Wait, what? Wait, who? But I can't just leave either. They'll see me and assume I'm the killer sneaking around. I can't close the window either, otherwise their facts will clash. Reluctantly, I backed up from the trap door, and I heard hurried steps, and I panicked, but Zoe caught me, breathing heavily while her makeup stood out even more. Who the fuck walking around in snowshoes on top of the snow? Okay, yeah, like they're like doing Jesus stuff. Somehow. That's the only way that any of this makes any damn sense. Anyway, Zoe, I whispered, and she sucked in some air, cautiously looking around before whispering, Mandy's dead. God damn, I'm so fucking pissed off. Nah. Okay, whatever. It's fine. I'm not upset. You're upset. They found her in the laundry room. What? I hissed. When? How? I don't know when, but she gulped, running her hand through her hair. She was gone for an hour, and Christy went to her room, but she wasn't there, so we looked in all the rooms until she decided to check the laundry room, and oh god. She heaved, swaying before coughing. The laundry room? I wonder. Why? I don't know, she snaps, and I flinch. From the look of things, she got strangled with washing line wires, then strung up. My body began to quiver. That feeling is back again. The one where it feels like someone is breathing down my neck. I sharply looked back, but could only see the wall. Petey, Zoe whispered, and I looked at her slowly. What's wrong with you? Gary looked. I know! Boo! Fuck you, Gary. I glanced I glanced at the window and so did she. Then we met each other's looks with horror. I fell asleep, I muttered, and she almost lost it. The killer must have gone past me while I slept, killed Mandy, then left. Did someone go through the front door at all? Suddenly asked, and she frowned, trying to think. Not that I heard. But Gloria and Melody kept muttering about a ghost haunting this place and snooped about. I know, I say. I saw them come in here, and they saw the window being open. Zoe facepalmed, groaning. This is bad. If they see you right after Mandy, they'll be sure you killed her. So what do we do? I quickly asked. Don't ask me. Only asked me to hide you, but that window should be impossible to open from the outside. I tried to stand up straight, but the dizzy feeling returned. I can't stay. I must find Jimmy. I gotta tell him. But Zoe grabbed my shoulder with a glare. You can't. You'll get lynched, okay, if Ricky or the other guys see you. They'll find me here anyway, I snapped, yanking myself from her hold. And they'll hurt you too for harboring me. With a U. For Cat. No, they won't. She cracked her knuckles confidently. Because you'll stay here where you'll be safe, and nobody will be coming up here just because that stupid window's open. In fact, I better close it. She walked over, big boots clinking against the wood heavily to match my thudding heartbeats. I almost threw up in my mouth and immediately ran by her side, and apprehensively looking out the window into the blinding snowfall as if searching for the murderer. But Zoe just grabbed the window and slammed it shut, stopping the howling wind. The snow will melt and go through the floor, I mutter. Oh well, she sighs, but now I gotta. Footsteps. Our hearts stopped and she pushed me behind the nearest pillar before a light flashed at her and she flinched. Put that away, you're blinding me, she complained, and the light immediately lowered. Zoe! It was Christy who ran up to her, and I shrunk further into the corner out of their sight. Did you close the window? I did, she says truthfully. Is the laundry room closed? It is now, the visiting redhead affirms. But enough of that. Ted, Damon, and Yuri just came over from the boys' dorm. What? Why? My heart thumped again. They said that Mandy's hair tied with her ribbon got pushed through the window with a note from the killer attached to it. Okay, that is so fucked up that it's Mandy getting this particular treatment. I hate that so much. Okay, sure, whatever, that's fine. Who cares? Me, but ugh. Christy sounded too excited talking about this, like Mandy's death is a piece of gossip. Wait, a note? A note? Zoe frowns. Yeah, it says that Petey is the one who killed the other guys, and that he's going to strike again. My breathing stopped, and Zoe's eyes bulged from her skull. What? She hissed. Cut the crap, Christy. You know that Petey isn't that kind of guy. Besides, Lucky wasn't killed by him. Lefty and Vance saw it was someone else that killed him. Well, yeah, but where was Jimmy when all that went down? Christy quickly says, groaning jittery. They could be in cahoots. Thank you for your cringes. Oh my god. Wow. Zoe just stared at her, disbelief matching mine. Christy, not only are you a walking piece of trash, but your gossiping borders on the delusional rivaling only Gary Smith. Ha! Take that. Christy was taken aback, her eyes very wide as her mouth hung. Jimmy has done so much for the school, Zoe carried on, stepping closer and closer to her as she stumbled back. There's no way he'd put all that hard work to waste just for shits and giggles. It's as Gary once said, Jimmy is crazy and stupid, she stammered. He could have snapped just like he did. You're wrong, she burst and seized her shirt, glaring at her. Hey, what's going on? I held my breath again. It sounds like Damon. Oh god, no. Christy shoved Zoe's hand off her, looking at the jock's direction. If he sees me, he'll break my neck. Crazy chic. I don't know. Here believes that Petey isn't the one who killed all those students, but I believe that Jimmy is helping him. I could just kill her. For real. Damon, you seriously can't, you can't seriously expect a weakling like Petey to be a killer. I can't believe his fucking alibi continues to be he's weak and gay. What are we doing here? What are we all here for? That's so dumb. Why the fuck would someone write a note saying they were the gay? Yeah. I agree. But here we are. Here we are. Zoe exclaims angrily, storming over and out of my sight. I can only listen now. Forget it, Zoe. Ernest is convinced, and so is Lola. Johnny Vincent is dead, and from what Ricky is telling me, Jimmy was defending him. How can you be so sure that Petey killed Johnny? Because he had one of those key fobs to close the garage and kill Johnny with a rock. Can Petey even lift heavy things? He was the only one in there with him. Of course it'd be him. This is ridiculous, Damon. Why aren't you guys in the dorm? It'd be safer. We decided to take you chicks to our dorm as well. Ernest says that it'll be safer for all of us. Okay, unfortunately, worst person you know made a really great point. Fuck. I've been you you know I've been saying that for years. Anyway, plus, he's going to lead all of us to hunt down Jimmy and Petey and kill them. The lump in my heart grew as my eye throbbed. Wait, you can't just kill them, Zoe shrieked. And why can't you guys focus on getting out of the school grounds? Ernest is having Trevor, Algie, and Cornelius fix the backup power generator in the basement, Damon sighs. Dan and Casey are with them as bodyguards. There's no way that the killer would get to them. But come on already. The other girls are being taken to the boys. You come too, Christy. Absolutely, the girl says with a smug tone. I can't believe Christy is getting this treatment. I would die for her. Where's Eunice, by the way? Where's my beautiful Eunice? I would die for her. Where is she? Anyway, come on, Zoe. You wouldn't want to break a nail here any longer than needed. Oh crap. If Zoe leaves, then I'll be on my own. What if the jocks decided to set up camp in this dorm? They'll literally kill me. All right, she said quietly, and my heart dropped, but only because I believe in safety in numbers. Christy laughed obnoxiously in victory. I'll go right ahead and see if Constantinos has my spare nail kit from the theater club. I'll take you to the dorm now. Yuri's thick accent cut through the air. Oh god, having more than one jock in any vicinity is almost enough to give me a panic attack. Thanks, Yuri. Let's dash. Aren't you coming, Zoe? I will, I hear Zoe say quietly before two sets of footsteps walk away, leaving Damon and her alone. What are you guys going to do once this dorm's empty? She suddenly asked. We're going to sweep this place for Jimmy and Petey, but don't worry, lady. We have our baseball bats to defend ourselves. Ew, just call me Zoe. And FYI, I don't believe that either of them have killed anyone. Damon snorted before saying, Whatever you say, let's get going already. All right, I hear her drawl, dragging her words like a tired toddler in a cute manner. But this door is very big, and there are lots of hiding places, so it'd probably be best to have one guy per floor since there's two of you. But there's 3 floors, like this room. I doubt that the killer would want to hide in here. Now, if they fall for this, that's so wildly in character because the jocks are super fucking stupid, but oh my god, that's hysterical. Anyway, I doubt that the killer would want to hide in here now that we know that he opened a window and that nobody can open it from outside. So I guess he went that way, or he opened it and then snuck downstairs thinking that everybody will leave. A confused silence followed before Damon burst out laughing. You got it all figured out, and you were up here on your own up here before Christy came charging up here like a dog, so you'd be dead if the killer was here. Yeah, she replied with what I imagine is the fakest smile in the world. So let's hurry, big guy. Do you have a comfy spare jacket I could borrow? Uh-oh, she sounds flirty. No, but could take you to your room if you want to get a warm coat on. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm hearing a jock other than Kirby getting flustered. Petey said, Kirby is gay. No one is safe. Of course, and if I feel safe enough, I might give you something as a little thanks. I wish I could laugh out loud, but then my dumbass just realized that she's trying to get him away from here so I could escape. There's no way that they'll be satisfied with this attic space being completely empty. They'll hang out here just because they feel like it. Zoe, thank you for everything. Their conversation turned more flirtatious, a tad crude, bordering on the sexual, that even Christy wouldn't manage. Thankfully, mingling with the footsteps as they walked away until the slam of the trapdoor prompted me to immediately run over to the window and yank it open, letting in a torrent of snowflakes battering my freezing face. Is the ladder still below the window? Please let Jimmy be right about it. I stepped on the ledge, knelt, and turned as my feet touched the ledges of what feels like a ladder. Then I descended slowly, hand gripping the cold wood as I regret not wearing gloves sooner as I dared to peek over my shoulder, and from here I'm just 2 meters away, R.E. for cat, from the brick wall that separates Bulworth Academy from the outside world. I may not be athletic, but I can easily climb back onto the window ledge and leap to the top of the outside wall, even if it is covered in a thick blanket of snow. But the view of the town is chilling. The lights dimly shone through the snowy veils, and I immediately realized that someone deliberately cut power for only this immediate area. That yes, the streetlights in the road in front of the academy aren't working, but aside from there and this academy, the town seemed to be functioning perfectly in blissful ignorance. But as my muscles twitched for me to climb back up, I held my breath. Should I risk running to the nearest police station with possible broken legs and tell them that I've been accused of murder? What evidence is there that I murdered the other guys? What can I scrub away to prove my innocence? My lips moved as if saying, "What?" No, I'm innocent. I can't have killed anyone. Why am I worrying? Right, because I could be proven guilty of murdering Johnny even though I don't remember doing it. And Vance and Lefty saw Lucky get killed by someone other than me. They'll believe me. Creaking. Shit! Before I could reach for the window ledge, the ladder snapped and I fell, falling. I landed on something soft. Oh my god, it's a huge snowdrift. Yeah, man. Uh huh. That is what happens when it snows outside. So true. And apparently it's been snowing like fucking Antarctica levels for days. Only hours, arguably, but it feels like days. Bro, just go to, yeah, tell them people are being a murder. Yeah. It would be super easy to just do that. Unfortunately, the cops in the game are canonically stupid as shit, so I wouldn't put it past him to not do that. Um, but then I started sinking. It's a huge okay. But I started sinking straight away until I'm inside the drift. What happened? I almost gasped, mostly from the shock of falling and the beams of light floating around overhead. I don't know, I thought I heard something. It's Ted and Yuri. They must be back from escorting the girls from the other dorm. No the fuck they are not. It took you, what, 5 minutes to, okay, and that's being generous considering the snow. It took you 5 minutes to fucking, uh, decide to go down the ladder? Fuck you. No, it didn't. That was like maybe like a 30-second decision. Maybe you were on the ladder for a minute, but it definitely didn't take that long to go to the boys' dorm and then come back. Thank you for the cringe. That's fucking ridiculous. Die. Anyway, ugh, this is the worst night ever, Ted complained. Let's just get in and see why Damon's taking so long. Bet he's dead. The lights disappeared and I took a deep sigh of relief. I can't believe it. I vanished inside a snowdrift. If they'd walked closer, they'd clearly see my imprint on this drift. I stood up. Dusting myself off quickly while regret filled my gut. I should have leapt over the wall. The police would have busted in and rounded everyone up and quickly found the murderer and quickly find the murderer or better gather evidence before deterioration occurs. And the doors nearby slammed and I quickly peered around the corner, seeing nobody outside the front, and then I just ran for it. My heartbeat is getting too high for this. I must find Jimmy and tell him what's going on. But at the crossroads between the dorms, I froze, staring at the bin that I had set on fire and the remnants of poor Parker's body still burning away. I wish that I could salvage him, but I doubt that any part of him will remain. I actually thought of him as the nicest person from his clique. It's impossible. I can't go back to the boys' dorm. The girls' dorm is out of the question, and the library is where Tad's body is currently resting. I got an ugly feeling that Davis is still there, hiding when the killer was in there. But he'd actually prove my innocence despite him being a bit stupid. Salvage him was kind of crazy. You are correct. I moved on pretty quickly from that. I groan. No, I can't go anywhere without seeing a body. Harrington House is no more. The bodies will still be there, and Biff's screams are haunting me. The basement will be crawling with nerds and jocks, but if they fix the power, then this nightmare will end. But what about... No, I can't go back to the gym clubhouse either, or the observatory, or the auto shop. Is there a place that hasn't been drenched in blood? Fuck it all to hell. I glance around, feeling my blood racing again. I can't just stand here. I need to get somewhere now. For some stupid reason, I thought of the cafeteria. At least there will be fruit there and a bucket to use. I can just hide in the fridge until everything blows over. Yeah, Jimmy won't have to worry. He knows I'm already good at hiding. I made a run for it towards the school, just about seeing its looming silhouette as the snow almost went up to my waist. That was a just horrific sentence. Slay. Thank you for your courage. I was just about to ask. Okay, we're back with Jimmy. What's going on with him? I wish I knew what the hell I'm doing, but I'm sure that keeping Petey in the girls' dorm is the safest thing to do. But my hands are still crusted with his blood. I wish it would just wipe off, but I know from experience how hard it is to get rid of blood. Shut the fuck up, dude. I also, you are not, no. He isn't. But that's okay. I'll let that one slide. I also, or will I? I won't. Anyway, I also wish I knew what the fuck to do next because nowhere is safe and I'm on my own, but I can't stop and regret leaving Petey behind because I stand a better chance of fighting off a murderer. But fucking Ricky just had to lose his mind. If he'd stayed calm when we found Johnny, then we wouldn't be in this mess. That bastard even maimed Petey's face. So I guess it's exactly why I'm slowly walking inside the school itself before stopping in the middle of the empty hall with the chill clinging to me as the old as balls. I'm gonna need a cringe. Please and thank you. Floors. I never knew how old this place is, but it's like stepping back into the past whenever I walk in here compared to the newish buildings in town. My footsteps echoed as I paced in a circle, trying to, thank you for your cringe, trying to remember the last time that this hall was silent and my stomach trembled as if it was filled with vomit. It fucking what? Dude, that sentence was foul. Anyway, happy 905, everybody. Trembled. That was really great. Thank you for your cringe. Um, yuck. Thank you for your happy 9 to 5s. They're appreciated as always. Um, looks good. Full stack of cringes. Full stack of cringes. So true. So true. Love a good rock solid sentence so we can cringe properly. Thank you for your happy 9 to 5 as well. It's appreciated as always. All right. Let's get back in there. Yeah, my body definitely remembers my fight against Gary Smith last year, but he's not here anymore. It's bad enough that I have to constantly remind Petey that I'm his best buddy now without me getting worked up over something stupid like Gary coming back to Bullworth as a murderer. Even the thought made me chuckle out loud. Nah, you're a coward, Gary Smith. You'd never lay a finger on anyone. Talking out loud to myself, but to a ghost of the past. I must truly be going crazy. Oh, you didn't think about that when your dead fucking stepfather came back? Gary Smith is where we draw the fucking line, but our super omega dead stepdad is fine. We could talk to our super dead stepdad, but Gary is off limits. Sure, that's fine. Everyone knows that you wouldn't want people dead because how else will you get to torture them? I asked out loud, and my question echoed. I stared at an intercom, half expecting the system to suddenly announce that I am human trash, but it stayed silent. Of course, the power is out. After what I found in the basement, I am never setting foot there again. I don't think I'll even walk past the door without feeling sick. Well, I say suddenly. Fuck you, who cares? Glancing about, a little bit British. Aren't you going to say anything? And of course, fucking silence. Okay then, I announced, starting to walk up the stairs. I will do this the hard way. I walked as slowly as I could, floorboards creaking beneath my boots as I went up the staircase, cautiously looking both sides before heading up the left stairs and noticing that the cabinet was broken into with the trophy missing. But that ain't gonna be important. I just walked inside this reception area when I spotted the office phone and my hand hovered over it. No, it's not going to work. Not while the power is out for the rest of Woolworth. Ring, 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 ring. I jumped with a yell and backed up, staring at the phone. What? How? The lights aren't coming back on. It will be important. What, the phone call? We better pick it up. It's for us. Ring, 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 ring. Swallowing, I picked up the receiver. Sorry, I read ahead. I got a little excited. And held it to my ear, watching the cord dangle between me and the desk. Bulworth Academy, I start faintly before growling out, Jimmy Hopkins speaking. The trophy being missing. Oh, right. Someone will be killed with it. So true. Silence. Complete, utter silence. Hello? I gulp. Who's calling? A chilling laugh, and then the call is disconnected. This room is silent, but my heart pounded in my mouth like it was trying to swell and choke me. That deep laugh. I think I know it, but it shouldn't make my knees shake, nor should it make me want to throw up. I sat back in Miss Danvers' very comfortable chair, feeling dizzy. No, don't fall asleep, Hopkins. You've got to do something. Get to your feet. Find a weapon. Take out the killer yourself. I stood up, wobbling, but then stumbled through the back door into Dr. Cravelstitch's study. It's impeccably clean and tidy as always, but the curtains haven't been drawn, so I can still see the gray-white specks of snow raining fast past the windows. I can faintly smell perfume in here, but after that episode with the cyanide, my nerves twinged as I looked under the desk, but couldn't find any broken vials. Now what? I mutter, leaning back against the desk, staring at the ceiling. There's no weapons in here that I know of. I'd run to my chem set in the dorm, but I bet that Ricky is there right now, spouting rubbish to get people to go against me. And Petey. I wish I took him to Blue Skies instead through the back of it. Are you fucking for real right now? You cannot bring up the fucking Blue Skies back alley entrance and tell me you didn't think of that faster. When we when people started dying, that should have been thought number fucking one, dude. Oh no! All the gates are closed. We have to get out of here. It gets two. I agree completely. Perhaps even three. That's fucking ridiculous. Oh no, we have to get out of here. Get to the police. We better go. Oh my god, that's so fucking awful. Thank you for your third. Whatever, it's fine. Through the back valley route. Hell, it'll be dangerous as fuck since there are huge cliffs there, and we'd get fucking avalanche. No. That's not how fucking avalanches work. I'm gonna kill myself! Fucking avalanches with how hard the snow is falling, but I'd rather take that risk, even if Petey's body is pretty small for a guy. Weekend gay! Weekend gay! They're back at it again, man. We'd be safer buried under tons of snow than. A cold breeze brushed over my body and I froze, turning my head toward the door, turned to the door, and Trent stood there, pale as his shirt as he leaned against the doorframe. "Trent!" I hissed and ran over as he fell against me, gasping shallowly. "What's wrong?" "Petey," he wheezes, staring at me with huge eyes. And Parker." "I heard, but Petey didn't kill anyone," I immediately snapped, and he flinched. "Do you honestly believe that a guy as puny and gay as Petey can ever throw a prep into the trash?" Still pale, he quickly shook his head no. But Troy, his voice cracked before burying his face into my shoulder, clutching my shirt in both fists. "What the hell am I gonna do? I've been running around like crazy just trying to get a hiding spot, but something kept chasing me." "Calm down, man," I barked, and he whimpered, holding my wrist tightly. I can't believe they're making Trent like super pathetic and like weirdly effeminate, like in vibe. Whatever. This is getting crazy. I agree. I figured there'd be like the fact that at the beginning of the fan fiction it was like Jimmy's getting framed, blah 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 or whatever, and then we drop that for like 6 chapters, and then we fucking pick it back up, and now Jimmy is part of it too. If I took a sip every time this, dude, you would. It's pretty bad. Actually, Petey could not do the crime. He is too gay. He is absolved. No, and that fucking holds up in court. You heard it here first. So if anybody needs an alibi for murder, be gay, I guess. Apparently that works. Anyway, holding my wrist tightly, I hesitantly placed my hand over his and it seemed to relax him a little. "You gotta chill, otherwise it'll get you killed." He actually has survived the longest out of everyone by himself, so personally, I think he should probably keep doing what he's doing. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, now listen. That's why they say be good. You can't be charged. So true. This was just confirming that for us. Totally forgot. It was risky, but I began to tell him about how Petey is being framed by someone for Johnny's murder. When I finished, Trent's breath grew shaky as he glanced about, but much more calmly than 5 minutes ago. "So," he mutters, "where is he? Right now?" "Safe," I say with a nod, but that's all I can say. "All right, so," he gulped, letting me letting go of me to cross his arms. Now what? What are you doing here? Even I wasn't sure why I'm here, but I inhaled. I decided to track down the killer. It's clear that they know me well enough to want me lynched. We gotta stop saying that. I bet it's Gary Smith. Now, I get it. There is a possibility that, because if you recall, Gord Vendôme's Downward Spiral, what they did was they kind of like pointed all of the like they pointed all the clues to it being Dr. Shade, if you recall that guide. Not sure how familiar and like how how memorable that was for you, but I remember it very well. But they all pointed the finger at Dr. Shade, the doctor guy that helped them through the flu and pneumonia pandemic thing that happened, if you recall that. I do. Yeah, that guy. And then it ended up being just some rando at the end. It was just some dude. So like it could be Gary, but I have a feeling uh this is gonna like really like knock our socks off with the way it's not gonna make any damn sense. I'm very excited. He suddenly whispers and I facepalmed. No, I snarl. He's history. He's been incarcerated at Happy Volts. He'll never get out so easily. But didn't you manage to get in by climbing trees? Shit, he's got a point. But still, I stumble. The sooner I find the real killer, the sooner I can save Petey's ass, and my own, and everyone else's. We fell silent until Trent let out a sigh. I'm sorry, I can't help you out. I want to stay alive. Figures, I mutter under my breath before coughing. Alright, but I'm gonna have to ask you to stay beside me at all times because if I don't see you, then you're at risk of being the next victim. I just want to get back to the rest of my guys, he complains. The sooner the better. And yet, I caught you doing nothing but run around like a cowardly chicken. And it seemed to be working. I hissed, and his lips twisted. Even Algie has more balls than you. He suddenly rounded on me, seizing my shirt with a growl. The only reason you're not a puddle of smush right now is because I want you alive to take me back. Oh, please, like you can beat me in a fight. I'm sure Russell will agree that I'm the best fighter in Bullworth. He's dead, Trent ranted and let go of me, eyes going moist. He's dead. I could only sigh and pat his shoulder, watching his head hang low. I'm not ready to take his place in our gang, he whispered. He's a better leader than any of us. We'll talk politics after we get I fucking love that so goddamn much. Out of left field, Trent would not be the next in line. I'm gonna be really upfront and honest with you. That is not happening. It would not be him. Anyway, we'll talk politics after we get the real killer arrested. The fact that they killed. Oh, I know. He would have been such a good character to have hang out with us. Even if they, like, nabbed him a little bit later. In fact, they should have killed him. Like it made sense for Russell to go pretty quickly because he's our strongest guy, but it definitely should have been like a little deeper in it so we could like be like, oh my god, the killer got Russell, the strongest guy in the school. What are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And then also it would have kind of implicated Jimmy even harder because he's the only one who we know has beaten Russell in the past, and they're good buddies. So it'd kind of be like he could easily be caught off guard, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of thing. But here we are with the worst fucking. I don't want to write a murder fan fiction. I am not that. I'm not a murder enjoyer. Like I don't know who the fuck was compelled to write this. However, this is so bad. I need to go and like rewrite it because of how just dog shit it is. It's not my fault. They're forcing my hand. I say as gently as I could. So are you with me? Only took a few seconds to regain his panicked breathing until he finally calmed down long enough to nod pathetically. Only because you're stronger than anyone I know. Good. I nod. Now let's get armed. Ideally, I'd escort Trent back to the dorm, but I got a gut feeling that he'll die for real if I let him out of my sight now. Instead, he remained close by as we walked downstairs and towards a back door leading to the south-facing part of the building. I didn't want to come back to the auto shop after almost getting gassed, but if there's a place that has adequate weapons, then it would be the stronghold for greasers. I just have to remember to avoid stumbling upon Johnny's body. Trent has that in its Trent has that in mind too, as he kept looking around like a cocaine-fueled squirrel. Cool. But I gave him a slap on the shoulder to make him focus while we plowed through the snow and reached the classroom door. I pushed the door handle and the door itself opened wide, and I thank you for the cringe. Happy 69th cringe, everybody. And I gave the entryway a cautious glance before we hurried inside and I slammed the door shut. Just like before, the room was surprisingly clean and the car is still suspended in the air with a battery connected to it, but of course it's been switched off. There was a group of us hiding here, I commented, and he turned to face me, listening. The battery was left running on this and it was suffocating us, but PD realized that it was causing us to feel sick, so he immediately alerted us. We then okay, I don't fucking care. Let's go! Let's go 69! Why? Okay, stop telling me what's happened. I have read it. I don't need Trent to know. Fuck you. We then broke the window in order to get out into fresh air. Fuck, that's scary, he mutters, wandering over to the wall of tools hanging off their hooks. What weapon do you have in mind, Jimmy? Something hard, but easy to swing around. While he muttered to himself, I got to checking out the car above us. I think Lefty or Lucky were working on it, since they're held back seniors. Super seniors? Okay. I don't know why you made them so old, but whatever. I remember last year when oh. Okay, never mind, that makes sense. I don't know why you did that. Anyway, but go off, Slay. I remember last year when I was only permitted to work on bikes, and that rage motivated me to help me create the perfect bike. I didn't say that correctly at all, but we're gonna move on. Hey, Jimmy, Trent spoke up while I examined the shiny alloy hubcaps. Yeah? Did any of the other guys take tools with them? I frowned, turning to face Trent as he pointed over his shoulder at the wall, and I remembered. Hal was carrying a huge wrench, and we were being gassed in here. The larger tools were removed. There's only the small ones in the scrap box, I explained. It was obvious that the real killer removed the large tools, knowing that we tried to break the windows and escape. But why did Hal have a wrench then? Beats me, I sighed heavily. Those grease monkeys love their tools. And, I glanced at him. What now? Trent walked over to the yellow cabinet beside the empty tool wall and opened it before letting out a scream. What? I grew impatient and looked. There's nothing weird apart from oils and cleaning stuff. Jimmy, I may not be a nerd, but someone clearly stole some chemicals from the fume box, he said quickly before rummaging through. I would know. I usually nick some of these to clean and remove stains from the drama club costumes and loosen annoying squeaky joints. I don't like where this is going. Trent, are they flammable by any chance? Yes, he stumbled, and then we stared at each other. You think the real killer is going to... I snarled. Arson. I think I know what the murderer might do next. Which is so fucking smart, having everyone go into the safety and numbers ass plan that we had, and then fucking burn the building. We're deeply committed to the craft murderer we have on our hands. Alright. Let's keep going. I never thought I'd... Are we Petey or Gary? I mean, I'm sorry, not Gary. Are you Petey or Jimmy? You didn't tell me before we started. Okay, we are Petey. I've locked the safety. I love the safety number strat. Okay, anyway. I never thought I'd say this, but thank goodness for the biting cold New England air. It is pretty fucking cold out there, huh? Considering. My injured eye is probably permanently damaged given how the flesh around it is pulsating uncomfortably and hotly. The cold air is keeping it cool, though. I didn't want to go back inside the school, ever, but as a last resort, I'll hide in one of the cafeteria fridges. Plus, there'll be food, and it's unlikely the killer will be in one of them. The great hall was deserted, and I stopped in the center and as I foolishly reminisced of the past 2 years I spent in Bulworth Academy. The hazing, the bullying, Gary's taunt. Thank you for your hotly. Okay, so true. Thank you for your courage. Gary's taunts and psychotic tendencies, bad cafeteria food, disturbing gym classes. I hate this place so much, I murmured. I wish I was never born in Bulworth. Yet without Gary, I probably would have gone through much worse bullying without him. Yes, there are things worse than getting swirlied in the toilets or abandoned on the rooftop without ladders. But Gary's presence was like an insect repellent. Works half the time and not when you need it to. He probably called me Pirate Petey or Or shit. Okay. Okay, so true. If he could see me right now. Or offer to blind my other eyes so that I can be fully dependent on him and be his source of comedy like bumping into walls. Oh, come on. I'm not that bad. I sharply spun around, but still no Gary. My heart pounded fast and my eye throbbed harder. Yes, you are, I decided to reply, even though there is absolutely nobody in this spacious hall. Oh my god, he's hallucinating Gary! Let's go! I hate hallucination scenes. They are my least favorite. You're like that. That's why I didn't like being friends with you. My mind is playing tricks on me. I can hear him cackling. Friends? I don't have friends. I have morons working for me, he would definitely reply. He's a lone wolf, but. And yet you always hang around me even when I'm studying, and you deliberately kick my shin or step in my shoes under the table. The doors behind me are closed, yet a chilling feeling overtook me. It's not that I needed you, it's you that needed me. So how about you come and visit me? I shot a look in a random direction. Visit you? Yeah, it's easy. All you have to do is break into Happy Bolts, shimmy up the trees, and avoid the guards. That's a thought. There is an alternative way out of the school. Oh my god. Someone fucking do some. They need to stop skipping class. They need to stop skipping class right fucking now, dude. They are all so dumb. Okay, I also have to run an ad really quick, and also I need a break. So I will be right back. Everybody sit tight during the ad. Very fucking excited for what's in store. Okay, I'm back now. Let's fucking get right in there. Okay, that's a thought. There is an alternative way out of the school, but I need to go through the football field and past the observatory and into the valley leading it to the mountain tunnel that'll get thank you, it's good to be back. That'll get me to the side of Happy Vault. Bring me flowers, Pirate Petey. I can appreciate a new snack every now and then. I laughed. Okay, I'm definitely hallucinating. You'd make me eat the flowers first. Thank you, Cat. It is good to be back. From you both. Exactly, which is why you should hide in my cell until shit blows over. My cell is the safest place in Bulworth for a fugitive. Nobody would think to look in the asylum. For a hallucination, he sure is making sense. Okay, I'll bring flowers. I rolled my eyes and laughed weakly. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. Sorry. Read ahead. I have to technically, and it's so funny. I only read like a sentence ahead, and sometimes it's bad. Okay, thank you for courage. Uh, I say that, yet he did just that many times in the past and left me to clean up his messes. Go where? Gary asked in amusement. Oh, you always leave me behind to save your own. I stopped, realizing that the hallucination sounded louder than my mind, and then I look up the grand stairs. Yes, Gary is the murderer confirmed. Fuck you. This is the worst fanfiction I've ever read in my life. Let's go. Anyway, Gary's smirking down at me, hands in his pockets of his off-white trousers and off-white sleeves rolled up to his shoulders with pins holding the messy cuffs in place. My breath. Thank you for the cringe. I know, duh, but like, so glad he's here to confirm it. So that means the fanfiction doesn't need to be finished because we've already discovered who the murderer is, and we don't need to find out how it ends. My breath came out in cold vapors with a U, shout at Cat, and rose in my vision, making him look ghostly. His smirk melted slowly. Fuck. His smirk melted into a grin, and he slowly walked down the stairs towards me, being excruciatingly slow with each steps echoing. Petey, Petey, Petey. I disappear for a few months, and what happens? Murderers? Poisonings? Gas? He paused with a pensive look on his face, then cackled, carrying on down the stairs. My heart is in my mouth. Stabbings, too. Booby traps. A death from a fucking toilet seat, he chortled. And poor dumb Russell. Wow, killed by someone he knows. Who could it be, I wonder? I couldn't speak. His hair seems to have grown longer since I last saw him, greasy but slightly curly and barely covering his eyes. It made him look years older. He stopped in front of me. He's grown another inch taller, too, towering over me. His stare bore into my soul. Want to eat dog shit in the cafeteria and catch up? He grinned again, and seized my wrist before I could even answer, and dragged my stiff body around the stairs and into the cafeteria. But the tables were shoved aside, and in the middle of the room there's just a single square table with two seats, and on the other dude, and on either side of it, and a bowl of fruit resting on it. Too stunned to speak, Gary cooed close to my face, and I flinched. He yanked at my wrist, puppeteering me. Sit. Obediently, I shakily sat down while he turned his chair around to sit facing me with his chin resting on the chair's back. Oh my god. And crossing his arms around it, interrogation style, literally hysterical. So, he hummed and brushed his hair back. Do I look sexy enough for this date? Only the whistling wind outside answered. My balls handed up into fists. The woman was too stunned to speak. So true. The weak gay Petey was too stunned to speak, dude. Okay, anyway, only the whistling wind outside answered. My hands balled into fists on my lap. Okay, he nodded simply before reaching over. I flinched, but he simply grabbed an apple and bit into it before moaning. Good shit. They serve slop at the asylum. I swear it's pig swill. He smacked his lips appreciatively. He's acting like nothing happened, like he still goes here and he's not expelled. So, how's Jimmy? He suddenly wondered and stared at my eyes. Must be nice having the king of the school as your boyfriend. You get to fuck anywhere your sordid teenage hormones want you to. Jimmy. Well, his voice tensed even though his face remained cool. I tried to speak, but he suddenly threw the apple. It was nowhere near me, but I still flinched as I heard it splatter on the wall. Well, Gary repeated calmly. Everything came up at once. Why did you kill everyone? I burst, and he applauded. Aha, the lamb speaketh. He cackled hard and wiped his eyes. So, Jimmy, how is he? I slammed my fists on the table. Thank you for your courage. Fists on the table. He just carried on, smiling. It all makes sense, I snarled slowly. You killed everyone. You hated people. When you stabbed Lucky, you had the best chance to kill me too, yet you spared me. You wanted me alive to use as your puppet. The bastard would just coolly watched me. Not to mention you had the perfect chance to kill Mandy in the girls' laundry room too. You could have easily killed me in my sleep up in the attic, but you didn't. It's proof enough that the window was left open and nobody saw anyone leaving through the dorm entrance. He fucking mock yawned. An apple isn't become applesauce unless it's like a really gross fucking apple, which I wouldn't put it past Bulworth, to be fucking honest with you. Or he's really, really strong. And you framed Jimmy with his own tag, I added, growing angry. You hated him the most, so you framed him and hoped that us morons will lynch him before the cops could investigate. Are you done? He yawned, and I screamed and shot to my feet. You murdered classmates! You gassed, poisoned, stabbed, bludgeoned. Shh, Gary whispered, mouth puckered in an O shape. Now tell me, what exactly are you Girl, he said already. Like, literally the last sentence, he accused you of gassing, poisoning, stabbing, bludgeoning. Like, you fucking idiot. I hate you. He asked simply. I'm gonna kill him. I will kill him. I don't know how, but I want him dead right now. Before you strangle me with your maiden hands, with your gay, weak hands. Explain. I literally just got here like an hour ago. Just as I fucking predicted, they have fucked us over yet again. This is just like last time. Sound doesn't make no shape. No, it doesn't. So true, cat. You can throw a cringe on for that. And I'm gonna need another for them playing us like a fucking fiddle. Anyway, I literally just got here like an hour ago, he said with a shrug. I got bored and broke out of Happy Volts and made my way here through the football field. I was gonna shelter in some nerd Astro shit. Thank you for the cringe. Astro shit house, but lo and behold, a grim recreation of Jesus Christ's crucifixion repelled me like the devil I am. Thank you for your other critch. I don't believe you, I hissed, glaring him down. He shrugged. Recognize this uniform, beautiful? He taunted, gesturing at the staff tag on the off-white clothes he's wearing. Happy Volt's staff uniform. Lunatics believed me as a staff member, so I roamed freely. Only Jimmy has a spare in his closet. And I kinda didn't want to go to the boys' dorm while there's angry people around calling for your baby ass on a silver platter. I don't want to admit it's plausible because I hate Gary so much right now. You could have just broken out anyway, I argued, but he tutted. Not logical, Petey boy, he tittered. You know what else isn't logical? The fact that there's still no power. I mean, I'd prefer a candlelit snack with you rather than relying on done nearsightedness. It's true, I didn't realize I wasn't carrying any lights with me. I forgot about Lucky's lighter and Biff's matches in my pocket. With that in mind, I pulled Lucky's lighter out and lit it. Gary's smiling face looked even paler. So humor me, femboy. Gay and weak. He chuckled. I got the general gist that shit went down tonight, but tell me what you know. No, I said. You'll change your story to my version of tonight. He shrugged and held his arms out to his sides. I escaped from the asylum. Who would the cops believe? A femboy or an escaped wrongly labeled lunatic? My lips tightened and he snorted. Don't act like that. It's as my rightfully dead grandma once said. If you pull a face, the wind will change and make it stick, he shrieked in that scarily similar tone to an old lady. His shrill yell echoed in the cafeteria, leaving into the hall and the rest of the school. What's gonna happen if the lynch mob come here? They'll definitely kill me and Gary, no questions asked. I'm fine about the Gary, to be honest. His body relaxed and he let out a long sigh, leaning on the table and shoved the fruit bowl aside, making it clatter noisily on the bare floor. I flinched at the cacophony. These fanfics no, so true. His dialogue in the game is so fucking good. You have to sit down and pay attention if you're ever gonna write Gary right. And no one ever fucking does. They make him, like, annoying. And he is annoying in the game, but it's, like, slightly less. Also, thank you for your cringe. Quit it, I muttered. Big mistake. His eyebrows raised joyfully. Or what? He taunts. You'll call for help? For help? From who? Jimmy, your mommy. Principal Krebbles bitch. Very bad. May I have a cringe for Krebbles bitch? Thank you so much. Gary, I snapped and slammed my fist down. Why are you killing our classmates? He dared to look at me innocently. I did not kill anyone. Tell the fucking truth, I growled, and he smirked, raising his hand and crossed his thumb over his palm, and for a goddamn moment I swear he was going to make a Nazi salute. What the fuck are you saying to me right now? And then his pinky finger also crossed. I swear upon my own miserable life and the an imaginary all-powerful sadistic sky fairy that I am telling you the almighty truth. Thank you for your cringe. I still don't believe you, I countered. He sighed dramatically. Oh, PD, fine. What? His face relaxed, not pulling a comical expression for once. When did you allegedly see me? And none of your womanly gay and weak. Womanly hysterics, please. Since he is finally taking this seriously, now's my chance. When you stabbed Lucky, his hands shot up, without implying me as the killer, please, or I won't listen. I inhaled. Before Lucky got stabbed, I rephrased, and he nodded. The killer was just standing there looking at us, but I frowned, trying to remember exactly what happened. Surprisingly, Gary's annoying voice didn't cut my mind. He just stared at me, unblinking, but his stillness helped. Now I remember. No, they were walking towards Lucky, Lefty, and Vance. They were with Pedro and Lance in the hall, but I went up with them, and we saw the figure walking towards us, but the killer stopped when they saw me. I stared at Gary's dark eyes. How'd Gary's know someone? I assume he's been like walking around. So it's like he probably found the toilet seat body in the bathroom. I don't I don't love explaining away like things that the fic does, but I feel like that one's plausible. Go on, he urged deeply. Lefty, I suddenly laughed and shook my head. I must be going insane. The idiot got a fire extinguisher. He was gonna hit the killer with it, but the bastard stabbed him. Lefty? I thought we killed Lucky. Whatever. Then I tried chasing after them. Gary whistled. Petey, that was very dangerous. You could have been next, but why didn't they stab you too? You have a knack for being an easy target. I don't know, I groaned. Because Vance and Lucky were there, I guess. Okay, so who's fucking dead? Is it Lefty or Lucky? God damn it, I thought it was Lucky, but now it's not? I'm confused. Where are we? Who am I? But even though they're tough guys, I doubt they'd take on a big guy like. I froze, staring at Gary's eyes again, and then roamed down his lanky frame beneath the stolen asylum uniform. It can't be. The brunette smirked. Sorry, I read ahead. The killer The killer was wearing a thick black coat and a hockey mask. How could I have forgotten that? Gary, I gulped. I get it if you changed your clothes to look less suspicious, but stand up. To my absolute surprise, he obeyed with a grin, and I also stood. He struck a stupid bodybuilder pose. Like what you're seeing, femboy? He taunted. I ignored that. You're gay, I stumbled. He snickered. I'm not gay. Slay. So true, Gary. Say that shit. No, you're gait, I corrected. The killer didn't walk like you did. Literally the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Their strides were longer when they ran. I've seen you run many times, Gary, but your strides are shorter, and the killer is taller in height. The asylum escapee suddenly grabbed my shoulders, face close to mine. So you finally believe me, he cooed. It's unbelievable. Just as I anticipated, Gary has been absolved. But the fact that he escaped the asylum is so fucking funny. Why is he here? This is dumb. I can't believe I was so quick to call him a killer. A sadistic bastard, yeah, but not an actual murderer. I still believe it. I do, because like I know they're not gonna let it slide. Like it's too obvious of an answer, and I know this author, while completely unclever and uninspired, is generally against giving us the answer. Nothing will convince me. Okay, that's fine. I get it. I understand. I'll take that as a yes, he snorted before unexpectedly shoving his tongue into my mouth. Ah! Ew, dude, what the fuck? Oh! Thank you for your cringe. Oh my god, and another. So true. Ew. What? Who? You're disgusting. You're. Oh. Oh. Wow. That was awful. Slay. Anyway, one more for good measure. I appreciate that. It was only a brief kiss, but it snapped me to my senses, and I quickly shoved him, and he laughed. Gross. He licked my lips, too. Ugh. You just said, who cares? He shrugged and began walking away. Come on, we have more investigating to do. But this time, we'll do things my way. This is gonna go horribly wrong. I still have doubts, but the more I remember what Gary is like as a person, the less likely that he's the culprit. Sure, whatever. Ugh, so true, cat. Ugh. Yuck. Gary's POV. Gary's POV, baby. That's what we like to fucking see. Just a quick. I deleted a couple chapters and condensed my writing, so you'll find comments have gone missing, but I'm not too bothered. I can tell I got a great many readers who like this work. And two, I apologize for taking my time with this particular fic. To be honest, I lost interest in it, but recently decided to try to complete any whips to get them out of the way. And it's not done. Not Gary, I know. It's crazy. So dude, I have no idea. There's 3 comments. This transcends language barriers. I'm questioning with a C. Okay, sorry. Let's fucking get back up there. What were they thinking? How long ago were these? February 2023. Oh no. 2020. Okay. We're gonna fucking leave a comment. And we're gonna be like, okay, if you're not gonna finish this, can you tell us who the murderer was? It'll be probably left unanswered, but we can give it a try. Like, please tell me who the murderer was supposed to be. Like, what was your plan? What were you thinking? I need to know. Okay, anyway. Bulworth Academy. It's nice to be back. Not. Ha! I knew it was a good idea to break out of the asylum on this particular night. Just my luck, too, because now, thanks to a random murderer, there are less annoyances and less interruptions to spoil my sweet playtime with Femboy. He was following me into the Great Hall when I stopped so suddenly he bumped into my back and hissed at me. Why'd you stop? I was just thinking, I hummed. Where are the prefects and the teachers? I heard him inhale before saying, the prefects were killed and drowned in a big tank. The teachers are away on a teacher training trip to Liberty City. How come, I wonder, looking up at the high ceilings. Not like there's money for it. Some sort of monetary gift from the Harringtons. I don't know, Petey sighed. I tutted. Oh, Petey, it's rather coincidental, isn't it? What do you mean? He murmured. Don't be like that, I lightly scolded him and held his shoulder tightly. With all these grisly deaths, it seems premeditated. Security is weakened by the absence of faculty, and the prefects are easy to pick off if you have the right weapons. So, think Darby's father had anything to do with these murders? Those cute eyes widened like a deer seeing its mother get run over. Never! Never, he gasped unsurely. Darby is dead. He's the only son of his family, so there's no way his father would want him dead. Trent pointed out that what's-his-nuts, Hal, had a tool when they were all gone. And Christy was being a sus in my opinion. Okay. We're fucking theorizing. So true. For I know Beatrice is technically dead, but I do suspect her. I know she's dead. I know it doesn't make any fucking sense. But I'm a little I don't know why. I have no evidence. 'Cause she's fucking dead. But like in the first chapter, she had been talking about cyanide and then she died of cyanide poisoning. You know what I mean? But also someone took down Russell. That is a good point. It's probably more than one person because a lot of this is deeply complex. And the internal monologue of question mark, question mark, question marks POV also mentioned a second person, so it's possible that there's more than one person doing the murders. So, hopefully they respond to our desperate plea, telling us who did the crimes. True, I agree. So the prefects are dead. The faculty are all out because what was it again? Teacher training, Petey said, rolling his eyes. So no adults on campus. No adults, eh? I flashed him a grin and leaned close again. Remember that creepy hobo that Jimmy hung out with? Is he dead yet? Gary, he hissed and backed up. He's not dead, he's just been missing for a while. And what's he got to do with these murders? I shrugged. Calm the hysterics, femboy. I can't believe I'm spelling everything out for you, and you're the one who knows a whole lot about the current events. Gary, what are you trying to say now? He sounds so exasperated. I just said it. No adults on campus. Correct, Petey said sternly and crossed his arms. There are no adults on campus. I copied and crossed my arms too, saying, Is that true though? Yes, I saw all the teachers go on the coach, he hissed. Teachers, yes, I nodded. Yes. We fell silent. I tapped my foot impatiently and he was getting irritated by it. Quit it, he barked, and I laughed. I can't help enjoying the echoes in this hall. Not until your dense little mouth tells me why there's something wrong about this human equation. I fucking hate human equation. Die. Challenge. Petey's hands clenched but tried to relax, taking deep breaths. What do you mean? And please just tell me, he sighed. In case you didn't notice, I might go blind in my eye. I saw people getting killed tonight. Please, help me. Thank you for your cringe. Something surged in me, something making me oh so incredibly joyful. I took a step closer and smiled at his stressed face. Please, I echo, waiting. Please, Gary, please tell me. Don't know how long I can keep myself together. I trembled, shaking all over, and not just from the tit-chilling cold. I fucking hate tit-chilling cold. May I have a cringe, please? That was just despicable. I'm begging you, Gary. He didn't flinch when I touched his shoulders. Hold on to your knickers, because, I whispered conspiratorially and glanced around. That janitor fellow, Mr. Luntz, he lives in the basement, doesn't he? Okay. Thank you for your cringe. Petey inhaled sharply, good eye widening at me. So true. He only nodded wordlessly. And, I carried on, drinking in his stunned face, you didn't see him getting into that coach for Liberty City? He shook his head again, wordless. Well, 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 I drawl. It could only be him, yes? Petey swallowed, saying, Miss Danvers, Dr. Crabblestitch, and the prefects have master keys, and so does Mr. Luntz. Oh, God. His voice was always kind of girly in my eyes, but right now it's got a wheeze to it. Petey dropped to his knees, his remaining eye all big in surprise in that, while he began to hyperventilate. Oh goody, I've seen this happen in the asylum. They just lock you in your room until you calm down. I can't have Petey passing out on me, though. I don't want to carry the princess around. Well, an excellent point. I mean, the kids are kind of dirty and perhaps suck, but like, no. So true. No need for logic. Let's just assume that the janitor killed the kids. For fun, for no reason. Because that's what this is all about. Fun. Fine, fine, I groaned and kneeled down, suddenly pulling him to rest his face on my shoulder. Breathe, femboy, I'm here and Mr. Luntz is not. I think that made him gasp and sob harder. Oops. His sobs are just as noisy as my tapping feet earlier. Should I tell him to shut up? Oh, but goody. How did his Lord Baldness Jimmy deal with Petey and his panic attacks? Hug him? Make out with him? Hide him in a trash can? So, I started, still hearing him crying. Guess he pent everything up from tonight from seeing so much blood. I gotta give him credit. From what I've seen, he's lasted longer than any other morons here. Cry it all out, femboy. Shall I hide you in a locker? No! I didn't expect him to actually talk, even if he sounded so high-pitched. We gotta tell Jimmy. We gotta tell everyone, but they won't believe us. They'll just kill us before we say anything. We need to get out of the academy. We have to go through the valley to into blue skies and run to the police station. I let go of him abruptly, and he almost wailed from falling over. I slow clapped. Oh my god. Gary is so fucking annoying. Please die challenge. Bravo, I mocked, clapping. The first thing you could have done when shit. The worst person you know made an excellent point. Why? Why has it been Ernest and Gary that have been the most fucking logical people here? I'm just curious. I'm not mad, I just want to know. Whatever, it's fine. The first thing you could have done when shit went down, and it's just now that you thought it's a good idea. Could have saved more lives that way, huh? His skin is naturally tanned, but I swear he looked so pale that he almost turned white. Ha! I didn't think. He wheezed and slowly stood up weakly. Jimmy. What's done is done, I shrugged. But a problem. The valley is dangerous with all that snow, and I only survived because I stole a couple of coats to stay warm, so it's too late to get out. What about that fire escape ladder on the side of the girls' dorm building? That broke. Huh. Has Fatty been on it? I cackle. No, it broke while I was on it. He stopped himself, but I snorted and he snapped. It's not what you think. I haven't gained weight. Uh-oh. Weak, gay, and fat. What is he gonna do? No, but your butt is looking rounder lately. Have you been taking up yoga classes with your mama or something? Thank you for your cringe. I snickered, and he gave me a shove. It wasn't forceful, but it was so like him, I couldn't help laughing more. If it wasn't for the fact that corpses are littering the school, I'd say that our little playful banter was cheering him up. Oh yes, speaking of femininity, have you been in the girls' dorm? I asked, and he sighed and ran a hand through his hair, accidentally touching that ugly cut on his face, and he winced. Yeah, I hid in the attic thanks to Zoe and Jimmy, but then I left when I then I left when Mandy's body was found in the laundry room. They also found a note that said I killed her. Huh. Now that's weird. What? Why is it weird? Petey frowned and I could have shit myself. This fucker can read minds? Huh? Shut the fuck up, man. I hate it here. Shit that threw me off. Don't ask me. Jimmy's tag was left at the crime scene, too. Maybe Mr. Luntz wanted you to be accused, too, to make things make sense. But I've never done anything wrong to him, he burst. At least if I did, I wouldn't remember. I never even dropped litter or stuck gum under tables. Is it the doctor killing everyone? That would be so fucking funny. Random Gordon Dome's downward spiral return. Huge, like, that'd be crazy. Anyway, I patted his shoulder understandingly. That's because you're Saint Petey, the patron saint of femboys. I have to fucking kill myself. And you're too precious to have any semblance of problematic behavior. Except you can be a little shit sometimes, so I can't forgive you. Forgive me for what? Being a femboy, I snorted, and he rolled his eyes. He suddenly groaned, and I copied him, but more drawn out. Quit that! We need to get a move on, he protested. We're just standing here talking when a lynch mob could storm in and kill us. Chill, I cooed and pinched his cheek, making him wince. So the girls' dorm ladder is out of the question. The valley behind the playing field is too blocked off. How about we hunt down Mr. Luntz and kill him? His eyes went Huge. Take a shot every time he says foot. Dude, you die in mere seconds. You would not fucking make it to see tomorrow. What? No, I'm not killing anyone. Petey, I wrapped my arm around his head lovingly. I'm not saying you will kill him. I'm saying you make the honey trap instead. What? I put my finger to his lips. Shush. Do you want us to get found by the big dumb wolves? He shoved me away in disgust. I am not going to commit murder, he ranted. Correction, I will be the one to commit murder. In self-defense, of course. I wagged a finger at him. Who would people believe? A lunatic who escaped from an asylum, or a disgruntled school janitor with suspicious lodgings under a school? But it kind of makes sense, everything. Oh boy, he's muttering to himself instead of giving me attention. One student can't take on four prefects. Not even Jimmy is that strong. But it's easy to lure them in one place if you're a trusted adult like Mr. Luntz. I let out a cackle and he flinched. It's just typical of those blockheads to follow orders like grunts. I slapped his shoulder and he squeaked. Come on, let's go. Go where? He gasped and stumbled after me. I turned to grin at him. Some surprise tools that'll come in handy later. Which doesn't even make any fucking sense, by the way. That line was completely wildly wrong. Poorly written, didn't make any damn sense. I'm gonna go ahead and need a cringe for that. If you could. The final cringe. This one ended very quickly and very abruptly. I should not have fucking read it, but here we are. My fucking bad. My bad. My bad. Thank you for your cringe. Now we have to, write a strongly worded letter to the author. I'm gonna log in really quick. Hopefully this is my password. I don't fucking remember. It's not. Fuck off. Maybe I just fucked it up. It's possible. Son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. Oh no. I have my password journal. But I don't think I have this in there. No. Oh, nope, nope. Here we go. My bad. Old password. Huh? Okay. We're gonna fucking make it. Fuck. Okay, I have to reset my archive of our own password really quick. Oh, damn, it's 10. Shut the fuck up. Because literally, don't worry, I still have surprises. Please spell Gmail properly. Sorry, I'm leaving this one as well. Wait, what? Oh, you're leaving a comment. So true. Do you want the link to the fanfiction? Or do you have it pulled up already? Okay, no, cool. I'm gonna really quick update my password in my theme journal. I mean, not my theme journal. Sorry. Very upset there's not more. When's the last update? 2023. I don't remember what like day specifically, but I'll look at it in a second. Alright. Password updated. Oh, January or June. I can't really read the way that they format their dates. It's year, month, day. Year, so 2023, January 6th. So pretty far back. Like we are pretty quickly approaching 2 years. Okay, so how should we word this? Oh my god. An excellent start. This was so crazy. I am on the edge of my seat here. If you aren't going to finish this, which I understand, I get that way too about not finishing things. But if you won't finish this, can you please tell me the murder? Yeah, so they haven't been on Archive of Our Own all that much either. So these messages very well may be futile. But that's okay. We're going to give it a try anyway. Please tell me the murderer. And possibly the plans for the last chunk of the fanfic. Because if it was going to be 18 chapters, I would believe you if you told me that Mr. Once isn't the murderer. I would love to hear what you had planned. Literally life-changing work here. Thank you so much. Let me know. Okay. What do you think? Do you think that's convincing enough? Should I add anything further? Let me know. As soon as this is sent, we can look at my surprises. So crossing fucking fingers. Can I? Alright, whatever. Weirdo. Okay, I feel like that's good. Can I riz you up? Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. You have to tell me the murderer. Please tell me the murderer. You literally have to tell me the murderer. You want to tell me the murderer so bad. Okay. So the other day, I was looking around, I think for Jimmy PD references, like for their height, right? And so I had ended up stumbling upon a website in my searchings for these references called story.com, so you know it's fucking good. So I click on it, obviously, and I am taken to this very website. It's fucking disgusting. It's terrible to look at. But it's AI art, and it's fucking bully. It's bully characters. So it's pretty obviously AI. But like, it comes with a story, which is so fucking funny to me. Are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? You're crazy. So anyway, yes, so excited. I think so. I don't know. None of the characters look like who they're supposed to look like. It is so fucking bad. I have a bunch of like really dog shit bully AI art published on Amazon. Are you fucking for real? Oh my god. Okay, let's fucking get right into this, huh? I'll even zoom in so you can see all of it at like bigger. Can you? Hell yeah! Fuck it. Let's go full screen. I wish the website weren't fucking ugly and dog shit, but that's okay. Why does he have mantids? Let's not ask any questions. Let's just jump right in to Petey's redemption. I have no idea how long this is. I didn't look. In the bustling boys' dormitory of Bulworth Academy, an unexpected event. Okay, yay! So true. An unexpected event was unfolding. We find Petey Kowalski, one of the students, caught in an unfortunate situation orchestrated by the notorious Gary Smith. Yes. Is that Gary? I don't know. Gary had just given Petey an embarrassment of a lifetime, a wedgie in his tidy whities. Petey's face turned beet red as the laughter echoed around the room. What the fuck is going on? Gary then started to make fun of Petey's innocent white underwear. What are you, still a toddler? He sneered, to more peals of laughter from the other boys. What? No. There are no windows in the hallways. Wait, what? Oh. Inaccurate. Who is this? Like, what's going on? I don't know. Did they? I think they probably did. Who the fuck is this? Oh no, me neither. To add insult to injury, Gary put Petey in a spit headlock, pinning him helplessly. Petey squirmed, but didn't manage to break free from Gary's strong grip. Okay, why is Petey a fucking 40-year-old man? I love surprise. I love this. That is not Petey. I guess we'll never know. This is believably Gary. Like, it's got the colors or whatever. No, isn't that great? I love that. That's my favorite part. What? Suddenly, Petey lost his footing and fell to the ground. He groaned as he hit the floor, but didn't dare to retaliate against Gary, fearing further humiliation. There are so many hands. I'm... Where are they? I don't know. But, like, they have to be, like, pink shirt is Petey, and then too many hands, I know! My eyes! Like, so it has to be pink shirt Petey, and then teal shirt Gary. So this one has to be Gary. I don't know where Petey is at. This one has to be Petey. This one has to be Gary. This one has to be Petey and Gary combined somehow, which I love. And then this is Petey, I guess. And then possibly Petey, possibly Gary. Let's, like, I love it here. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hopkins, stop! I'm not gonna make it! Jimmy? Why is he too a 40-year-old man? Petey's only friend walked into the dorm room. He quickly took in the situation, his face showing surprise and concern. He looked super surprised and also concerned. Why is he living in Bushwick, Brooklyn? The world may never know. Gary then proceeded to stuff Petey into a nearby trash can. The boys in the dorm laughed even harder. Petey felt utterly humiliated and trapped. Like, they were just standing next to each other. Like, in an attempt. Jimmy looks like he's holds his own feeling startup. So true. Dude, it's so bad. Like, how long is this? I'm dying. I found like 3 more. We'll probably only go through one depending on how long it is. In an attempt to assist Petey, Jimmy stepped forward but ended up receiving his own humiliation. Not true. Not my Jimmy. Gary swiftly pantsed him and kicked him squarely in the groin. And where is this occurring? Not on screen, I'll tell you that. Jimmy... Dude, it's so fucking good. Jimmy crumpled to the floor in pain while Gary stood over both of them triumphantly. Okay, that must be Gary. However, this pants him. Yeah, dude, they're bullying him for his failed startup. However, this event sparked a fire in Petey's heart. He decided then to stand up for himself. I don't think Jimmy would give a fuck if he got pants, to be honest with you. He's just that with it. The next day, after the humiliation, Petey found himself alone in the dorm room. Gary and his cronies, there are no cronies, but go off, were away, and Petey saw an opportunity. Who the fuck is that? Not Petey, man. He decided to confront the problem head on. He went to find. Okay, so Gary and his cronies weren't around, so Petey went to go find them. His heart pounding with both fear and determination. He was resolved to put an end to the bullying. He found Gary and his gang outside the school. I can't believe we're ruining it. I know. Like, what the fuck? If this weren't ruining the environment, I would be so unbelievably pro slop. Just because it's fucking hysterical. But the fact that it's killing the planet, I have to pass. We can't. I love slop, but we can't destroy the planet for slop. As much as I love slop. Don't get me wrong. He found Gary and his gang outside the school. Gathering his courage, Petey approached them. He could feel the intimidating glares of the gang on him. Are they both Petey now? Or like, what is happening? He bravely confronted Gary, challenging him publicly despite it looking like we are in a dorm room. He voiced his request for the bullying to stop and for mutual respect to be upheld in the dorm. Oh my god. Why is he 12? What are we? Okay, are we in an elementary school? Initially, the boys laughed, expecting Petey to back down again. However, Petey stood his ground. That's a baby, yeah, like, what the fuck? Petey stood his ground. He could feel the respect of the other students beginning to rise. Yeah, we got thrust into, like, some kind of freak flashback, probably. I'm not afraid anymore, Gary, Petey said firmly, locking eyes with the bully. You can either respect me or deal with the consequences. I love the cotton candy shirt we have going on here. A huge fan. I don't think the AI knows how to do anything other than two people standing next to each other. A murmur passed through the crowd. Gary was taken aback. He hadn't expected this timid mouse to roar. He looked at Petey with a newfound respect. What the fuck? We're getting a little, like, fucking Maestro roar. I was doing, like, oh my god, he's loud. And now they're gay! What the fuck is going? What is the poster behind? Dude. I don't know, but the hand being, like, back there, but, like, not also is crazy. Anyway, later that day, Jimmy found Petey in the dorm. He was surprised to hear about Petey's confrontation and proud of his friend's courage. Okay, I was really hoping to get gayer, but I didn't. You did great, Pete, Jimmy said sincerely, patting Petey's back. I'm proud of you. Petey gave a small, hopeful smile. He had taken the first step. The next day, as Petey walked into the dorm, what the fuck is he wearing, brother? That is sick work. What the fuck? It's like a... I don't even know what it is. It's bad, though. The next day, as Petey walked into the dorm room, he could feel the change in atmosphere. The boys respected him. Some even congratulated him for his bravery. Even Gary seemed to have softened. Sorry, can we go the one after the gay picture? Of course. Yes, this one. The fucking gay picture. I love it here so much. Oh my god, because one of the things, I don't know. Melting into it, I guess? I can't really tell. Like, oh, he's just staring. Anyway. He didn't bully Petey. Instead, he nodded in his direction, a silent acknowledgement of his respect. This hallway is so thin, I'm getting, like, anxiety. Jimmy was proud of his friend. He could see the respect. Sorry, I had to go. No, of course. The shadow reflector wagged. Dude, everything is wagged. It's so bad. Where are we? What school are we at? A scary one with windows and the thinnest hallways you've ever seen. He could see the respect in the eyes of the other boys. It made him realize that standing up for oneself is important. Who are these other people? Backrooms High, so true. Life at Bulworth Academy began to change. As word spread about Petey's confrontation, others started standing up to bullying, too. The culture was beginning to shift. Also, he had expected the Timmy Mouse to roar as being You have a worst lines of all time list? Slay. So glad that this could be added to that. Because it really belongs. I love all the extra people. Happy for them. Oh my god. Why does it have a flower? Okay, hold on. It's a kick me sign. The culture is beginning to shift, but not that much. It seemed Gary and his gang were losing their power. The culture of bullying was being replaced with mutual respect, a testament to Petey's courage. Jimmy and Petey continue. Why the fuck are Jimmy and Petey so gay? Is his hand in the other guy's pocket? Can you see? Okay, you can see like right here. What the fuck is going on? Oh, you're one of them queers? Weak and gay? Are you fucking crazy? Hello? Anyway, Jimmy and Petey continued to be friends and were respected by their peers. They stood as an example of bravery and standing up against justice. Petey's actions had had taught everyone a valuable lesson. One brave act changed the entire dynamic in the dorm. The story of Petey's redemption spread through Bulworth Academy. Financial remember this? Yeah. They literally like they're the Grinch. Wait. So, like the little like snouts. I loved it. I loved this story. It was fucking awesome. Hold on. I have another. So I have another. Okay. We have a couple of options. We have another story, and it's another Petey Kowalski one. Okay, no? Okay. That's fine, because don't worry, I have another link on Reddit. So a while back, I had discovered a fan fiction. Let me open that too. We might read it. I don't know. Unless there's. Oh! Hell yeah, brother. Okay, there's 10 chapters. But go on. Okay, we'll get there momentarily. But this. Fuck, let me. They added art recently. Gay Panic is a tag. Wait, where? Oh no, wait. Yeah, okay, found it. So we do okay. Wait, why is GTA also on there? Dude, I'm not gonna ask any questions. This I haven't read the whole thing. I think I've read the first 3 chapters. It's been updated horrifyingly recently. Um I'd probably have to vet this one considering there's an 18 plus label on there, but one of my favorite parts of this fanfiction is that they fucking headcanon each of the characters as like a different white boy. So I think Joshua Bassett is let me see if I can get the notes out on this. I gotta get started. I don't think we're not gonna read this whole thing. I'll have to vet it first. But um okay, what the fuck? Where's the description, man? Okay, I can't confirm who's who, but I think it's chapter 2 in which they reveal. Oh, maybe they edited it. That's terrible. Russell is in this, and they headcanon. Yep, there it is. So they fucking headcanon the characters as like random white boy actors or whatever. And so fucking Russell is Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I love so fucking much. Like, you're literally insane for doing that. I literally love Arnold Schwarzenegger Russell. Good night. This person has a mind. I I don't even have the words to describe. I'm just it's just it's so inspiring in me. Like, wow, chills. Literal chills. So anyway, I had found these AI images. We'll fucking unpack them individually, but someone they had made them based on the celebrities. And these are like their senior photos or whatever. So this one is obviously Jimmy. It's based on Gus Kenworthy, whoever the fuck that is. Bill Sleepy, yeah. My personal favorite part is Bill Sleepy. Skala Sheep. And like, let me get Gus Kenworthy out. Like, you're fucking crazy for Gus Kenworthy. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he getting in the bathtub? Where are we? This isn't Jimmy. This is a grown ass man. Jimmy is 15. What are we doing here? So that's one. His nose is like Gus. Me neither, man. I don't know what he's in. Why does he have red hair in the photo? I don't know. I I I think they probably added a little more description. Um, to like edit him, I guess. His jaw is so fucking scary, and why does he have Rudolph's red fucking nose? Like, where are we? Where? But whatever. So that's Jimmy. Gary is, I fear, the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. He is based on Dylan O'Brien. Who the fuck is that? I don't know. Some guy, I guess. Bill Sleepy, I can't know. Bill Sleepy is so fucking good. Who the fuck is that? Dude? I don't know. He's like slightly more recognizable than the other guy. I don't know what the fuck he's been in. Apparently he almost was in Wizards of Waverly Place. He's in a 2010? Well, I'm busy, actually. Not many people know this about me, but I am busy. Too busy for 2010. Oh, Maze Runner. Okay. So true. I've seen that. So we've got the Nirvana shirt on, spelled really well. I'm personally impressed by how well Nirvana is spelled. Is that guy? What? The fucking amount of piercings is crazy. And then it shows Jeffree Star. It looks so bad. Why is he on the beach? Why is it snowy? Where are we? It's like his eyes are terrifying. And then here's Petey, and it's based on Joshua Bassett, which is, let me go get him. He was in High School Musical, the musical, the series. Why is the water coming from exactly, exactly. So there he is here. Button up your shirt, slut. What are you thinking? Anyway, so there he is. He's got another red nose issue. Um, I at least they got the vest right. Like it's blue vest and the pink shirt. Like Petey's redemption didn't seem to know what the fuck was going on for pretty much anything. Um, the proposals are everything about it. Why is he a grown ass man? He's supposed to be 15 at best. Like, what is happening? Gary looks like Johnny Gilbert. To me, Petey was Tom Holland or Michael Cera vibes. I fucking. I love it here. I love Michael Cera Petey. Where. Why are we still here? But anyway, these are based on a fan fiction or whatever. It's out there. We could read it because now that we're done with that one, I don't know what we're gonna do on Saturdays. So either we're gonna need to read more, or I'm gonna need to pick something else to do, and I need to fucking decide by tomorrow. Anyway, it's late, so I'll set everybody free. But if we don't have anything to do, by God, I have the triumph of Petey Kowalski waiting for us. Um, cause oh my God, what the fuck? You're crazy. You're literally insane. I wish AI weren't so fucking funny. You know what I mean? It's like maybe there is something about it. Like, you are very welcome for stream. I. Oh, 100 follower celebration. Congratulations. Okay, I'm gonna try and raid into this person. They're at the 6 hour mark, and I'm also getting a UFC ad. Okay. I believe in us. I don't think they're ending anytime soon, so we should be alright. So we'll go hang out with them. Raid as a little treat. Um, I will see everybody. God damn, their music is loud as hell. I will see everybody tomorrow. We'll schedule Monday for whatever the fuck I want. Godspeed out there. Love you.